you're seeing us live on YouTube right now. You can also find us on Spotify. This is it's a new day. Episode 12.
This is episode 12, and we're making it happen, son. Like, we're really chugging away. Last time we had like 10 subscribers. Now we have 16. Like, we're making it.
Yeah,
we are really doing something like there's no one has ever done before.
Well, something that we didn't discuss last time.
Yeah.
Was we are LA's at least quickest growing podcast. And maybe the last podcast in Los Angeles.
Maybe the last. I really think at this point we are going to be the last podcast in Los Angeles because everyone's moving, everyone's leaving, everyone's making an excuse that they can't live here. And it's more so like, oh, we can't afford it or anything. It's more so like they're just sick and tired of what's happening in LA. But people, but usually, what I noticed though is the people that want to leave LA or aren't from here. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, but like you're complaining about leaving LA and you're not even from here. Like, we didn't ask you to come in the first place. Like,
we drove Tim Dillon out of town.
Yeah,
because he saw us coming and he's like, "This is scary.
Yeah,
this is happening too fast." He thought he was doing that to Joe Rogan. Nah,
we're doing.
He
that
saw it real quick. He got scared to be number one.
Yeah.
He was number one for a bit.
Yeah.
Snagged him.
Then he dipped out to the desert. Yeah, he went out to the desert and then he started traveling the United States doing podcasts in front of other people. Did you see that podcast when he was with other people?
Well, I heard you were criticizing it heavily.
I mean, listen, Tim, I love you, bro, but like that was pretty wild, on live stage. I you know what? I'm gonna say I give you credit for having heart to go in front of a live audience.
I don't like the whole live audience podcast though.
It's a little weird.
It doesn't come out that well. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those things that like you have to know what you're walking into to understand. Because I feel like because you know what I mean. Like you ever walked into one of those like those city theaters? That's what it looked like. You walked into one of those city theaters and doing some weird show, and you're like, what the fuck is happening here? And you it takes you a while to understand. And even when you finally get it, you're like, wow, this is strange. I want to leave.
Yeah, understood.
But
his podcast is more about chuckling kind of in your head.
Yeah.
Jokes you're not supposed to laugh at.
Yeah.
And so when you have a camera in front of an audience faces that know they're not supposed to laugh at this joke, it gets pretty dicey.
Yeah, they're like, okay, and then because you're not really sure if you're supposed to laugh at what Tim Dillon says because he does some wild stuff, and so do we. Don't get me wrong. And we're going to say some wild stuff on this podcast today. I think so.
Well, this also comes up to our next topic. We have put ourselves in a freaking pickle.
We have
unemployable.
Since last year, we haven't applied for jobs. We don't apply for jobs anymore. We stopped.
We are putting ourselves on the back of these 16 subscribers.
On the line. Listen, guys, buy our merch, please, because if y'all don't buy our merch, not only do I have to go back to college, LJ's on the street.
I'm pissed. I actually have to talk about the thing that I'm bothered by this one topic.
Yeah. Because if LJ ends up on the street, there's no podcast. I gotta go back to college and listen to all these freaking idiots, and I don't want to tire. But you know what? Who's gonna help us out? You know what's gonna help us out? Hair Razor Coffee.
Oh.
Hair Razor Coffee is gonna help us out because we're drinking it. And we're having fun on our podcast every single week.
Beautiful flavor notes.
It smells delicious. It truly does. And every time I pop that up, it smells like I don't want to talk about weed right now, but basically it smells very good. And if that's Hair Razor Coffee, we've been drinking Hair Razor Coffee since the start of this podcast.
Yes.
Hyped up. I just woke up a minute ago and I just drank 2 sips of Hair Razor Coffee and I'm fucking hyped. And it works. And it makes me yell a little bit. It makes me get up on my podium and yell at the people. So shout out to Hair Razor Coffee. That's what I want to say.
Shout out to Hair Razor. That is not in an ad.
No.
And why is it not an ad?
Because we're in the courts. Okay, we're in the courts with Hair Razor Coffee. We're trying to get our sponsorship because they don't really want to sponsor us yet. They're coming up all these reasons. So we're like, listen, Hair Razor, sponsor us. I gotta go back to college and LJ's back on the streets. We don't really have time for whatever your partnership program you're talking about. We just want money.
That's in a head-to-head battle right now. With our leading sponsor, Hair Razor Coffee.
Yeah.
They are having us work for free at the moment.
Yeah, shame.
it's something that we can't agree to. It hurts us
Yeah.
to know that we are just we're putting their brand on our back.
And not because they're paying us, because we love them.
They have put us in a pickle though.
Yeah, a pickle. Because if we don't get sponsored by Hair Razor Coffee, we might end our podcast tomorrow. We don't really know what's gonna happen at this point. You know what I mean? Like, we're like one of those like K-Cow, like Christian, fund us or we're gonna die tomorrow type of channels. Like listen, like if you don't fund us, like, homie, like, shit, like. And
so I think somewhere on, well, it doesn't say it here, but I'm guessing because they're from Santa Barbara, they're probably a conflict-free coffee. Yeah. I can say they're not conflict-free today. We are in conflict right now with Hair Razor Coffee.
Major conflict.
We are battling for a very important sponsorship. And we'll see. It's in the courts, as you talked about. This is not a settled matter. No. This is going up to the higher
coffee courts.
The coffee courts.
Yeah.
To see if they can really stand by our brand identity.
Yep.
Which they would be the only employer that would be able to stand by our brand identity. Yeah,
because everyone else
we do understand their moral conflict.
Yep.
But we'll see if they're a brand of the people.
Yeah, and in Santa Barbara, conflict free. They go together like peanut butter and jelly. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Why
we
would
don't want conflict? They're our only sponsor, and now we might have to boot them.
That's very unfortunate. You know what I mean? And after that, I don't know what's gonna happen to us, bro. Like,
look at this. I'm putting them front row center.
Front row center. More people have bought Hair Razor Coffee since our podcast, since before. I'm just saying that
we're a good brand to be around.
We are a good brand to be around,
and we're on the up.
We're on the up and up. Catch our stock low, because if you catch us too late, we might be too expensive.
Yeah, but this is a bougie coffee.
No, that is a bougie coffee. That's like $85 or something like that for that bag.
That's expensive bag of coffee.
But I ain't gonna lie, it really does smell really good. Like it smells really nice. So
all right, we're over the sponsor that we're not paying us.
Yeah, not paying. We can't spend too much time on this. But the next topic, what we like to talk about here on the podcast is things on the internet. Mild topics, smart topics. I tend to talk about the mild ones. You tend to talk about the smart ones.
But everything hot topics.
We
will get hot about the mildest shit.
Yeah.
And that's what's important.
It's very important, and what's very important right now is internet celebrities. Milo Yiannopoulos. That's what's trending on the webs right now. Milo Yiannopoulos, if you haven't heard, is now not anti-gay. Excuse me. He's coming out as ex-gay. Ex-gay meaning like you were gay and now you're ex-gay. So. And then next, he's going through conversion therapy to help him become straight.
He's considering conversion therapy.
Yeah.
And he's having bold claims as he was only gay to bother his mom.
Now, I'm sure the guys that were with him in whatever way their backside feels might think something different. But having a ploy of coming out as gay for years. I mean, that takes a lot of work, number one. And even like past your mom, forget the fact that you created a whole, internet identity from it of being.
Well, and I really think the reason maybe we didn't actually consider this in us bringing this up, but this is why trolls like him are kind of problematic. Yeah. Everybody would call Milo Yiannopoulos problematic because he makes the JoJo stuff confusing.
Yeah.
You're like, is this brand or not?
Yeah. And it's really, I don't get it. It's really funny. It is confusing because we're trying to, like, he basically comes out as like a gay conservative, which is very, very controversial. And it seems like a really smart guy and wants to, like, basically share his message through his platform in his perspective.
But if I'm confused how he is ex-gay, but then he's also considering conversion therapy. So that means he's not on the backside of not being gay anymore.
That means you basically were gay. If you're considering conversion therapy, it wasn't a joke.
And he still needs it.
Right. That means you either you.
This is just an incredibly huge troll.
Yeah, this is incredibly huge troll because that means like you either fell into it too hard.
Yeah.
And then now you need conversion therapy. or like it's like one of those FBI agents that like wants to like pretend like he's a drug dealer and ends
Yeah.
up becoming a drug dealer, and then he's like, oh, like I need rehab. Like no, like what do you?
I look at this as Milo Yiannopoulos has been irrelevant
Yeah,
for a while now.
Good point.
He got canceled heavy. Smart way to come back.
Yeah,
As far as a create exposure, not a smart thing to do.
yeah,
But he lives troll life.
yeah,
So he's just kind of coming up under his little bridge.
yeah.
For this is a last hurrah moment for him though.
Yeah, because we haven't really been talking about Milo in a really long time.
Well, he got canceled by the right.
Interesting.
Yeah, with the right isn't cancel culture, but they still do sometimes cancel.
Yeah,
That's
totally do.
some of the discussion lately. But
They do cancel people. I don't get why even the threat of like the right.
they're the anti-cancel, but at the same time,
They totally
sometimes they're like, "Hey, we gotta cancel."
Yeah, they cancel people all the time. Milo, that's really interesting. I mean, coming out gay for your mom, just to piss off your mom. I mean, shows how much you really love your mom. But but that's a whole different topic. Hate your mom.
I think it was a hate your mom thing.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's totally a hate your mom thing. And because they're like, yeah, like that's but if your mom is whatever, I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know. I just this topic just came onto my my quote air quote desk today. So I was like, I don't know. Like,
you were not prepared for
I was
this
not
topic.
prepared for this topic.
And the only reason
came right
I
in my
think we were
face.
discussing it is the fact that it is one of those things where you're like, wait, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
However, are you surprised that Milo would go like this?
No, because like you said, like I think some of these guys are clout chasing. They're trying to figure out like how could I be into the spotlight again. I feel like it's always like the same thing. It's like something around being gay or something like that, or committing some like weird sexual thing, or like something about being black or something like that. Like it's always like, oh, like now I have a black friend, or oh, now I'm gay, or oh, like it's something along those like to bring yourself back. You know what I mean? Then
but clout chasing works. Biden used it to get to presidency.
Yeah, like even like clout chasing works. Dude, who it didn't work for this week? Kim Kardashian. After the divorce with Kanye West, what was really really disappointing is Kim Kardashian came out on her show saying after that whole divorce thing, like I feel like a loser. And you know what? I've been calling Kim Kardashian a clout chaser for years now, like a long time.
But she is clout. How can clout chase? She is the clout.
Yeah, like what is past Kim Kardashian clout wise? Like I don't know.
Like who could she tag that everyone else be like, oh, she tagged him?
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I think she is the top of the line. She created the pathway for like the whole pathway. You know what I mean? Like listen, get with a football player and then rank up little by little by little. And that's what all these housewife shows and all these shows are coming out on these, and all these girls on Instagram talking about like this is how you do it. You fucking get a football player while he's in high school or whatever, and then
it's the whole idea of like get on top by staying on bottom.
Yeah. And then it's like slowly just cheat your way to the top, And that's why I think equality is real, because women can do that. But anyway, that's a whole different story for another day. But anyway, she was like, yeah, I felt like a loser because of her divorce. I felt for the first time ever, I felt really bad for Kim Kardashian, bro. I'm like, wow, like to have Kim Kardashian say such a thing, I think it was Kanye's fault, bro. Because you're top of clout, because you're top of ego ladder, like you calling yourself like I feel like such a loser is like is basically saying like I failed.
Well, when this relationship started, I thought that Kim was gonna break Kanye. I was like, oh, Kanye finally came to his kryptonite.
Right. Me too.
I did not expect Kanye to be Kim's kryptonite. I didn't think that she had the ability to kind of unravel. Kim's walking around and she's basically talking about needing a rebound.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Kim's walking around Hollywood Hills or Calabasas, like just looking for like some quick booty to be able to get her back.
Yeah,
like get her emotions right.
And like Kim Kardashian's emotions got twisted up like from somebody else. Like I'm thinking like everyone got by Kim Kardashian, got their whole thing messed up
because she is the boss of all bosses.
Right, because everyone who's dated Kim Kardashian like turned out worse, and somehow other than Ray J, he's making Raycon headphones and then just selling that shit for $30.
Wait, but who was her other people that went nuts?
Okay, so who she dated? She did Reggie Bush. it sucked after Kim Kardashian. Like,
ended his career.
Yeah, and he completely ended his career. I think he was like a Detroit Lion.
Chris Humphries.
Chris Humphries.
Oh, my Minnesota boy, though.
Who is that guy anymore?
She tore him apart.
He's gone.
That was her nice guy try.
Right.
And you do see it. I see it even within like girlfriends of mine, like friends that are girls that are out in the world, and they'll sometimes like getting like wild and crazy. They'll have a Ray J boyfriend, and then they really go to just the most like conservative lifestyle guy. Guy who wants to buy the house, wants to be boring on Saturday nights, already has some like kind of a sterile like accounting job,
plays board games,
good money. It's not to say that he's a boring guy, but he lives a boring lifestyle,
right?
And but sometimes boring lifestyle meets boring guy, and then you do see that girl usually jump out of that relationship and go a little. She finds even crazier. Yeah, and that's what she's kind of done those bounces a little bit.
And go to Kanye West, and I feel like she did something. She like got with somebody in between Kanye West, or am I tripping? I feel like we're missing.
I haven't been able to track all of her relationships.
We're missing a dick here. Like I'm trying to figure out who. I don't know. Maybe say it was Kanye West.
Was she ever with like a Yankee? Was she ever with like a baseball?
I think you're thinking of Jennifer Lopez.
I sounded like Tommy Boy.
Yeah,
she must be one of the Yankees.
She was.
So J-Lo, wait, Derek Jeter wasn't in there ever?
Oh my god, no!
And I don't mean like in there. You know what I mean?
No.
Like I mean like in that relationship conversation.
Yeah. No. Let's just look.
Let's look it up.
Yeah,
I think Kim Kardashian's relationship history is fundamental to understanding where America goes.
Right.
After this.
Because we America follows Kim Kardashian, and tell me, okay, the fact that we even looked this up and then it comes out like articles like Kim Kardashian's dating history, like complete list of Kim Kardashian's boyfriends. Anyway,
and we will get to this.
Yeah.
But I think it's important for us as Americans to buy American on this.
Yeah.
And stop talking about like a Meghan Markle.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be a hypocrite because we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
Oh, yeah, we will.
But get back to American brand identity. No, that.
Okay. So we're going to this list. Sorry, we got to get back to the American brand identity. But let's start from Ray J, because no one knows before Ray J. No, T.J. Jackson. I guess he dated T.J. Jackson. So let's start with Ray J. Ray J. Nick Lachey, the guy from fucking
Nick Lachey. He's Jessica Simpson's guy. Though.
Jessica, don't play. Isn't that guy? Don't play in games with my heart.
98 Degrees.
In my heart. That's the Backstreet Boys boy, right?
No, he's 98 Degrees, bro.
What? He's one of the Backstreet Boys of the NSYNC guys.
He is 98 Degrees headlining act. I don't know if you don't know 90s boy bands, which is fine. But, if we do have any commenters in the thread, Nick Lachey was 98 Degrees.
Bro, I thought he was quick playing games with my heart. That guy.
Go get yourself some 98 Degrees, bro.
Really, this is going to be one of those uneducated podcasts for sure at this point. Because I'm like drinking coffee, but I'm still tired. We're trying to figure this out.
I love it how you're on his IMDb and it's not saying anything.
It's totally 98 Degrees and I'm totally wrong. So Jessica Simpson. So yeah.
Because I loved their relationship.
Yeah.
American sweethearts.
Uh-huh.
When she thought like the tuna was chicken of the sea,
uh-huh.
She was always really confused that it wasn't chicken. I don't know. That was a hot topic back in the day.
Remember Jessica Simpson? Those remember that was she was like the first example of controversy other than Britney Spears that I heard when Jessica Simpson did that
the Daisy Dukes.
No, Daisy Dukes and the not the Carl's Jr. commercial. Remember, it was like Super Bowl, or whatever, and she was like laying. Yeah, she was doing all that, and everyone was tripping about that she was wearing Daisy Dukes or something.
Yeah, she went dirty girl,
being a hoe, and it's fucking Jessica Simpson. What do you expect? Anyway, she dated Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon dated everybody, so he doesn't count. Reggie Bush.
That was a real relationship.
She dated Cristiano Ronaldo.
What?
Damn, son, like.
But that could have been like they maybe just went to like a restaurant.
Yeah, I get it.
They went to Craig's LA together. That's it.
Right.
No way.
Rumored ex Justin Bieber. Okay, shout out to Justin. Okay, give him to Miles Austin.
Oh, that's right. That was actually a pretty big relationship.
A football player.
Yeah, he was like a cowboy.
Okay, cowboy. Okay.
Yeah, he was okay.
Okay.
He's like a number 2, kind of a number 3 receiver.
Yeah. So a guy named Gabriel Aubrey. I guess he's like a.
No idea. Male model.
Who cares? Shindigo Dean. Damn. And then Chris Humphries. Then we're going through like 10 guys.
Yeah.
And then I guess rumored ex Drake, and then ex-husband Kanye West.
Okay, so it really does go Ray J.
Yeah.
Then Nick Lachey.
Yeah, Nick Lachey.
Then we get the Miles Austin in there. Then Reggie Bush, then Miles Austin.
Yeah, Miles Austin.
Chris Humphries.
And then
Kanye.
West,
That's the main
ones. Yeah.
Now that we know.
Yeah.
And we know that you do come for us with the Hollywood Hot Topics.
Yeah.
We are right on the backs of like TMZ with a lot of this reporting.
Yeah. So basically, what we're trying to figure out is who does Kim Kardashian date next? Because like, what goes after? Because I thought Kanye West was like the top. Like you're basically to the right of Jay-Z, and I thought that was the top of like black guys, because she did black guys. Who else?
Because it felt like, I mean, I don't know how to, but it felt like Cleopatra and like Julius Caesar like meeting, right? Like it was the pinnacle, like type of crazy relationship you couldn't imagine,
right?
Built from the history books,
right? Because I feel like
a fairy tale.
It was on the backs of the whole Beyonce Jay-Z, like wow, like this is like the ultimate example of a power couple, right?
But they cannot out-power couple like Beyonce Jay-Z, right?
You can't.
You were like, wait, what? I thought that was it. That was it. So
I thought they were trying to be like the number 2 power couple.
No, I think they out-power coupled them. They were on the brink.
Y'all on the brink.
They didn't get there.
No, but they're almost on their way, right? So we're like,
because she's freeing people from jail.
She's talking to
Kanye's running for president.
Yeah, and then
Kim was like maybe gonna be first lady until
she didn't, and then and maybe that's why they're divorced. I don't know. Anyway, but she's like, I don't date losers. No, but so who's after Kanye West? Like in terms of like a black guy, because you can only think black guy at this point. I mean, unless she's like screw all black guys, I'm going white. I'm going for Donald Trump at this point.
Yeah, well, Barack
Obama.
But he does seem sound in his relationship.
Yeah, Michelle seems pretty chill, But I mean, Michelle, if she messes up, I mean, Kim Kardashian could be running up in there too. I don't know. What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, so we gotta stay in that lane.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
if she wants to blow America's mind, she goes upside down, flips it, reverses it, and she starts dating Oprah.
Yeah, I think so.
That would be the only way to blow America's mind.
I think. I think Oprah's the last.
Oh, I actually beat you to this.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Oprah is I said richest black African Americans. Oh, Michael Jordan. I mean, obviously Robert F. Smith.
Oh, that would be crazy if she linked up with Michael Jordan, though.
Michael Jordan and do you know Michael Jordan's wife almost looks like a shorter version of Kim Kardashian, bro?
Oh shit! Or what if her Tyler Perry?
Oh.
And then the Merkles.
Oh, they get together and create a royal country,
and they live in the same fucking house together, dude.
Oh my god! Do you know that big house in Bel Air called The One? It's like the biggest house in the United States, costs like $325 million or something like that.
Okay, it's called The One.
It's called The One because like the biggest fucking house
in the United States.
Okay, probably not the biggest house in the United States.
And does anybody own it, or is it like just like
not yet? Somebody's gonna buy it. Eventually.
That's a stupid name, The One.
Because I'll show you later. But it's literally like on the hilltop of Bel Air, and it has like its own hilltop. You can see from like downtown LA all the way to the ocean. Like it's like its own little section. And it's a house as big as. It's not as big as obviously it's not as big as it's damn as big as a small museum.
Sure, but it like probably almost looks like the Getty.
Yeah.
You're
that's what I was trying to say, like the Getty, but like if you
that's
comparison, Getty's way too damn big. Yeah, but like a small version of the Getty.
Damn.
It's a house.
But it's a spec house, so no one's bought it yet.
Not yet, but soon. I'm sure someone will. Like you're probably gonna be from somebody outside of the United States, or like some billionaire is gonna come and buy it, or Michael Jordan. So I think anyway.
And then who was the second guy on the list?
Sean Combs. Oh my God, P Diddy.
That would be tight.
P Diddy and Kim Kardashian.
P Diddy is kind of like a calmer, cooler, collected version of Kanye.
Like that actually makes the most sense.
He's like Kanye, but with like some like just patience and sweat.
Chill. And he actually has his mind on him,
but he has got that crazy switch.
Right. He's crazy, but he's like he's cool at times.
I hope that Kanye grows up to be like P Diddy. That would bless my heart.
I hope so too.
Who's the second guy on the list though?
Robert F. Smith. So Robert F. Smith was like basically like a private equity billionaire.
Okay, he's Wall Street.
Yeah, he's
strictly Wall Street.
I'm pretty sure he's rich.
What's his company?
I forget his company, but I'm pretty sure he's richer than Oprah. So I don't get. He's never really.
What the heck?
Yeah. He's.
Let's get some stats on him.
Yeah, no, Robert F. Smith is.
Because this might be Kim K's next guy.
Yeah. But he's older. He's like 60 some odd change. But Robert F. Smith is no effing joke, dude. He's worth $5 billion. He's richer than Oprah, bro.
Vista Equity, okay.
Yeah.
But he's that quiet money.
Vista Equity Partners. Yeah, the quiet money, that chill money, that sound mind money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This guy can rock Kim's world if she wants to.
Yeah, I like that.
That's what we're trying to figure out. We're just trying to figure out who's dating Kim Kardashian next. Because at this point, who is it? So, P. Diddy, Michael Jordan, Robert F. Smith, and who else?
I got somebody
Who else?
in a volatile relationship.
Who?
Almost fell apart last year.
Last year. Wait. I'm trying to. Who is? Wait. Before you even say, I'm trying to figure out who it is. Black guy.
Black guy. I'm staying in her lane.
A volatile relationship. Last year. Yeah. Who?
America's sweetheart. Will Smith.
That
would be sick, dude. Everybody could get around that.
Oh my god, of
That'd
course.
be sick.
And screw Jada Pinkett Smith. Like, no one likes her ass anymore. Not even my parents. Like, I don't either. Like, screw her. And then like get Kim Kardashian up there. Jaden and Willow, they'll be happy to see Kim Kardashian have a new. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you probably have like new little kids with new Smiths.
It'd be sick, dude.
New little Smiths.
It'd be sick.
That'd be sick. Oh my god. So we have a laundry list of so Will Smith, P. Diddy, Robert F. Smith, Michael Jordan.
Yeah, well, and I really want Tyler Perry in there.
And Tyler Perry.
Because I think that would, with what's happening in the world,
yeah,
that could somehow unite everything.
Because Tyler Perry, he's complained about being single for quite a while.
Oh, he's a single man.
Yeah. So he like always talks about like you know, being single is whatever, but I'm rich as fuck, and then like
and just like the Prince and like
but the whole thing about Tyler Perry is like he's so like all for black people, like his whole thing came from like black people would trash Tyler Perry.
Why?
For dating Kim Kardashian. Black people, because like he's like it's like, oh, so now you're dating outside your roots, boy. Like you used to have you used to have skits and comedies and sketches for you know black people doing, so you know you gotta reunite the black community. And all of a sudden,
so he can't do that. He has to have a black wife.
Yeah. That's like his.
So is that why is he not been married then?
I don't know.
Because he's like banging white girls and he can't tell anybody.
I know he probably is. I mean, when you're in Atlanta, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Tyler Perry.
I like how we're like this. Smart Mouths just started. We're like relationship hounds.
We're trying to
we're
figure
on
out,
the beat.
Yeah. No, Tyler Perry isn't married. But basically, yeah, like because I mean that guy was always like he's always seems like he's on the move. You know what I mean, Tyler Perry. But like all the black people would totally get on his ass so hard.
It makes more sense though. Okay, so when a Tyler Perry isn't married, and there's articles saying like why hasn't it worked out, that makes so much more sense to me than when there is a guy that's married who has like when Tiger had like 14 mistresses. I go, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
like how can you be that successful and that busy at the same time? How could you manage all of that? But when Tyler Perry's like he probably has a few different girls in different cities, and he just like kind of manages it from the sidelines. That I go, okay, he's probably actually playing it by a truer code. We're like, the girls just know, look, he's not gonna marry you, but they're cool when you call him up,
And then to be frank, like in his perspective, like I really get it, because at least he's being honest, he's being real, and he'd be like, yeah, like those girls are just like yeah, you're kind of just like, I'm kind of fucking Tyler Perry, like I'm kind of busy to bury you right now, like, you know.
Yeah.
And like hell, I'm giving you half my.
I mean, maybe he's not doing it even like that.
Yeah. And he has all on top of that, like if you're one of those people that's like on top of like your like relationship hierarchy, and you're always talking about being in relationships, I think you're scared of like the confusion, because you're always talking to people about how confusing relationships are. And then you step into that, like, and you knowing this confusing because you've been teaching it and preaching it for years.
So this is why Kim K makes sense for him.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we have spoken to ourselves. We're speaking to the universe.
Tyler Perry, Kim
Kardashian. You don't need Tinder.
Yeah.
Turn off Hinge, Bumble. This is a match made in heaven.
I've been trying to figure out why anyone uses this app anyway, when there's an app called Instagram that has like literally all the women there, and you can message them at any time you want. But that's a whole different conversation for a whole different freaking day. So yeah, so we figured out who's gonna date Kim Kardashian, which is great. Unfortunately, he's not gonna be Dak Prescott. We thought we kind of put that in there, but he's too broke. He only signed a contract for $160 million. That's not enough for Kim Kardashian, bro.
So is he the highest paid quarterback in the land now?
Quarterback.
He probably is at 160.
Quarterback. Let's see. Highest paid quarterback. No, because it's which is crazy. It's not Tom Brady, which is insane.
Well, no, it would be
Foles, isn't
Pat
it?
Mahomes.
Yeah,
I think Pat Mahomes got the big dog, right?
500 and somebody million.
Yeah. What am I talking about? He got the half a billion.
Yeah, something like,
he got the half a billion.
Yeah, I'm like.
The only reason I even questioned it is the fact that the Cowboys would ring the bell like that.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, they.
But that's not even close.
Not even close. But what? Okay, so the reason why I think we're talking about this because you know people that follow sports that listen to us, Dak Prescott been trying to get a contract for the Dallas Cowboys for years.
Has he always been franchise tagged, or what? He's just been sitting in kind of a looming weird little contract.
No, like I guess he basically he's been waiting on his big contract since he's been playing really good, and then like he was supposed to get his big contract like last year, and then he got hurt, and like but the owner Jerry whatever his name is
Jerry Jones
was like holding out his contract for like 2 years, like his big contract, and in the middle of them like negotiating for 2 years, he gets hurt. And so everyone was pissed at Jerry Jones because, like, you motherfucker, how come you didn't pay that man yet?
But that's the game.
For showing up for your stupid Dallas Cowboys. And yeah, I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys are stupid. I know we're going to alienate.
I love the Dallas Cowboys.
Actually, no.
I got family in Dallas.
Yeah. No, I love Dallas Cowboys. But I just like to hop on the hate train. But pay that man. Everyone is agreeing with it. Even the Dallas Cowboys are like, pay that man. Pay that man because, like, he's been showing up for your team more than anybody. For the Dallas Cowboys, he's been the star of the Dallas Cowboys, the biggest star since the Dallas Cowboys since Tony Romo. And Tony Romo hadn't done shit for the Dallas Cowboys before that. So he's been the star of the Dallas Cowboys for the last, biggest star for the last 20 some odd years.
Yeah, it's weird. I feel bad for I don't feel bad. It's got to be dicey being a Dallas Cowboys quarterback.
Yeah,
you're lots expected from you, and we haven't seen. He's a good quarterback. He's just not great.
They still have the same coach, right? That one, what's his name?
That redheaded dude.
The redheaded guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still have the same coach. They haven't fired his ass yet. Like that's the whole thing. They're holding out the Dak Prescott's contract, but like yet they rehired
that other guy.
That other guy, the coach, and he sucks. Like, everyone knows he sucks. What's interesting about the Dallas Cowboys is that like everyone agrees with the criticism. The Dallas Cowboys fans agree with the criticism towards Dallas Cowboys. We like whether you should like pay Dak Prescott, pay Ziggy Elliott, fire the coach, change fucking Jerry Jones for goodness sake, even do all these changes, and like they agree with the criticism, but like yet the Dallas Cowboys are just like, nope, we're gonna stick by our guns now. Like we ain't doing shit. And then
Jerry Jones is a difficult contract negotiator though.
Yeah,
that's kind of his thing. But he pays like weird people though. It's like, oh, you got like a rape charge, you just got a DUI, like. Come on, the Cowboys. but he usually doesn't pay anybody. He just gives all these guys their like second chance.
Yeah.
And it usually doesn't work out.
No. He's like, and like the thing is, at the end of the day, like Dallas Cowboys are America's team. Like we almost want Dallas Cowboys to succeed.
I think it'd be great.
At least more than the Patriots, at least for the past 20 some odd years.
Yeah.
At minimum.
They are more of America's team than the Patriots. The Patriots are like only Boston.
They're like Boston's team, yeah.
Yeah.
And so like there's something in me where it's like I want the Dallas Cowboys to succeed, but like they're just not getting it done, and because of their organization that just keeps staying the same almost.
They are hard to love.
Yeah,
because they do some weird ass shit.
They're tough.
I kind of like Jerry Jones though. Yeah. When it comes to what I think I would be like as an owner, I would have some Jerry Jones vibes.
Yeah. No,
because he makes all those very dicey decisions. He makes quick decisions. He like overjumps his GM and coach all the time, and just be like, "Hey, we're gonna do this."
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it'd be like that.
Yeah, like Mark Cuban vibes.
Yeah, Mark Cuban vibes. I feel like if I'm 70, 80 years old, I'll be like Jerry Jones too. If I'm 80 and like not giving a fuck, I'd be like, you ain't performing. Like you got hurt. Like, doc. like I'm not thinking about like the fan's perspective. I'm just like, no, like business is business on me. So it'd be like that sometimes. It really be like that sometimes. So I mean, I'm trying to figure out, bro. Like, we're inside. Sometimes what happens is commenters, on our podcast would like to talk about we get a lot of comments saying like, "Hey, you guys are in LA, in a room, not wearing masks. Are you vaccinated?" And we're like, "No, hell no."
Whoa! I'm not anti-vax like this. You anti-mask, anti-vax. You're all of this right now.
I'm anti everything because listen, because we talked about that. First of all, if you haven't listened to our previous episodes, we talked about. I don't know what episode we talked about. But
6 feet.
But I said, get version 2.0. You never get version 1.0. Why would you get version 1.0? The PS5 controllers are breaking. Sony has been making PlayStations for fucking 30 years. Okay, the PS5 is still not working correctly, and you're talking about getting an emergency rushed vaccine that's gonna cover coronavirus. And by the way, there's fucking 5 other variants in different countries. Are you joking? What are you talking about? Protecting from what?
I am not anti-vax, and I'm not anti-mask. Probably won't be doing either of those inside a month.
Yeah.
I made a commitment to myself and all my friends that in March I was done.
Right.
With the masks.
Yeah, you did. You did.
And I actually made that last August. I started to just tell my friends like, hey, just so you know, like, I obviously know coronavirus won't be around in March. Right. Blah blah blah. I know people won't care about it, but I'm done with masks in March.
Right.
Everybody was laughing at me. They were like, LJ, bro, it won't be an issue like in March.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying it will be
in March, which is, by the way, March 2020.
When I was in August, I was just like, no, I'm not saying it will be.
Yeah.
I'm just saying in March I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm just done. And they were like, okay, ha ha ha. Thank God it won't matter. Yeah. We just you got to double mask now and vaccinate.
Yeah.
But not that I'm against vaccinations, because I'm not.
Yeah.
But I am not throwing in a rushed vaccine into my body.
No chance.
But I like the double shot better than the single shot.
Yeah.
Because if 2 of these crazy organizations, so we got Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, and Pfizer.
Yeah. So
Pfizer and Moderna are double shots.
Yep.
Johnson & Johnson, family-owned company.
Family company.
That's a single hitter.
Yeah.
If these 2 mega powers, which are the only 2 mega powers that were able to get the vaccine out, are going, we need 2. And then some random other group, Johnson & Johnson not being random,
family company.
But just saying the same thing can hit you with 1 hitter?
No.
I am like, we're already rushing it.
No, like, dude, like the 1-hitter quitter, the vaccine in China is a 1-hitter quitter. Like, I don't care. I'm not gonna do it because, like, just because, dude, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine didn't even go through like post trials. They went through like pre-trials, and it got like the FDA rushed they rushed their vaccine through.
Why are you not able on Amazon right now to order? I would order in-house like kit. So the same thing if you have a house arrest. Okay?
Yeah.
House arrest kit.
Yeah.
A testing for the coronavirus.
Yeah, it should be.
The nasal swabs.
Right.
And a tube of the virus. Why can't I just give myself the virus?
Yeah.
I hook up the ankle bracelet. I cannot leave the house. And I can't, and it won't release until I get done with the negative test.
Yeah, until I'm done.
I would much rather have that.
Yeah,
all of them are lab made.
All of them.
The coronavirus and the vaccines.
Yeah.
But I'd rather just have the first lab made one.
Yeah.
Just give me the coronavirus. I don't. How can Amazon not have that pre-packaged for us yet? It's like packaging water, isn't it?
Yeah, at this point.
I thought the coronavirus is so easy. It's everywhere. Just scoop up air in Huntington Beach and then just mail it to me.
Yeah. Are you telling me, first of all, you can fucking send, I keep on saying fucking because I'm pissed today. You're sending me a lab test to get my results back to where my ancestry came from. I asked my grandma, she couldn't remember. And somehow fucking all these companies,
the swab,
yeah, they're like,
you like pissed on.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, you came from Nigeria, Ethiopia, this and da. And you're telling me I can't get a fucking coronavirus vaccine or just inject the coronavirus to myself? We could have been done with this in a few days, son. If everyone injected themselves with the corona, some people may die. It is what it is. But You do it. You stay home. You take your ankle braces off, and if you get your negative test after you're done with 5 days, you're set. You're free. You're gone. You go to the beach.
I just think it'd be great.
Yeah.
And if you violate that social contract, I don't know, send me to jail.
That's your
whatever
ass.
For like till the coronavirus is gone.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that I'm not able to just get the virus.
Right.
Just give it to me.
Right. And what the problem with this is fully vaccinated people can gather. Now they're going like this is something very small that's probably going to turn into something very big because they're already talking about you bringing your vaccination card with you, and they're already talking about putting your vaccination card on your phone.
Why do you hate that?
Because it's like a weird oh my god, I'm gonna get caught up with saying some anti-Semitism shit. But it's like some weird like showing your.
But you got to realize you can, and we've gone over this. We've gone over this, Cam.
Yeah.
You cannot say you feel like a Jew or feel like a slave. You can only say they are Hitler.
Yeah. And
they are slave owner.
They are slave owner.
But I could never say I feel like a Jew, and you could never say I feel like a slave.
I can never say that.
We cannot do that.
Yeah. So I'll put it this way. I feel strange as a human. I'm not even gonna go there. To constantly show my
it makes me feel like I'm getting governed by Hitler. Right?
It makes me feel like I have to show my validation just to go in anywhere, and that's very strange. When it comes to ID, like I get like the only reason usually ID is shown is because to show your age, and that's pretty much it, right? Now I'm showing a certain ID like I got vaccinated, and some people didn't. Some people and only we get to go into the club. We get to go into the back. Only vaccinated people get to do this, and that's a little weird because now it's gonna be like.
But couldn't this could be nice though? I'm not a single man, but like as a single dude, what if like they also did the same thing for herpes?
Bro,
no herpes in this club. But I need to see a clean slate.
Notice how they haven't done that. Like we've been trying to I think we've been trying to figure that out for AIDS and fucking like
Why could you not do that? Because it's fucking discrimination.
Because of discrimination. Bro, no one could have walked around saying like I'm taking medicine for my AIDS. I'm taking medicine for my herpes. I'm taking medicine for whatever. No, you don't have to show ID.
But that's gonna get that's like slowly can kind of gradually happen.
That's what I'm saying.
And this is straight up conspiracy theory bullshit.
Yeah, no.
Don't get us wrong.
No.
This is certainly not a smart conversation. This is some mild shit.
This is definitely.
However, over years, this could potentially get dicey.
Yeah.
That's the only reason we talk about it.
Yeah, and this is just getting a little dicey because we're like, yo, like we've seen this before. we don't like where this is going. So this is basically what we're trying to say. Like this is just getting a little weird.
It would feel good. And I'm kind of willing to let some of my liberties slide with getting into a door of a bar and just being like, vaccinated, let's rock. Masked off. Future's mask off dropped a little early.
Very, very early.
I'm sure he has so many remixes.
Oh yeah,
just piled up.
Mm-hmm.
Just mask off, motherfucker, mask off.
Yeah. I feel
it's waiting, but too soon.
Yeah, too soon. I feel like Future, he was rapping about like how much drugs he did for so long, and then he just noticed how he just dropped off. I don't know. Hopefully, Future is okay. But anyway, if someone says on the chat says, "Will you guys talk about how sick Joe Biden is?"
And for reference. You always find us on YouTube, Spotify. This is Smart and Mild. It's sometimes smart topics. It's sometimes mild topics.
Mm-hmm.
We're not smart or mild, either of us.
No.
But we got a little smart and mild in both of us. So we're like, and if you like what we're saying, you can say smart. If you hate what we're saying, you can say mild. But everything is hot topics.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about Kim Kardashian, we're still hot.
Yeah,
we're all about it.
And I don't know.
And then sometimes we are going to get into topics like this with Joe Biden.
So let's talk about a little bit of Joe Biden. So we got comments saying he got kids in cages, bombing MFs, touches kids. I don't know where that came from.
No, he smells kids' hair.
Oh,
he loves sniffing the hair.
He's rubbing their shoulder. That's right.
Yeah.
Isn't lowering minimum wage? You're trying to increase it, whatever. Isn't paying back student debt and has complete. What did it say? He lied his way into office. Isn't he the greatest? I mean, listen, I didn't vote for him. I voted for not Jill Stein. That was one before. I voted for whoever. I don't care. Anyway,
Well, there was 2 options.
Yeah, I know, right? I think I just don't want to say it, but hey, I think so. Listen, let's talk step by one. Usually we don't address things like this, but I guess we're gonna go step by one.
This is an okay conversation to have, though.
So the kids in cages, right?
Okay.
Kids in cages. So he does have kids in cages. We're trying to figure out. Okay, so the whole kids in cages thing is actually pretty interesting because, I think what part kind of doesn't get talked about as much is the reason the kids might be in cages is because their parents aren't there. Their parents aren't with them.
Well, I get the whole idea, and I understood this conversation even coming from Trump.
Yeah.
I personally didn't vote for Trump. I'm Purple Party.
Yeah.
I honestly voted for
Purple.
my freaking mom
Yeah.
and my sister.
Right.
Because I think both are bullshit.
Yeah.
However, in this matter, I get it that there's individuals that are coming over the border
Yeah.
that are using children sometimes
Right.
to be able to get the pass.
Right. Which is known.
So then when it
Yeah.
gets to the border, it gets a little bit confusing
Yeah.
of, okay, we need to kind of shuffle through who's doing this appropriately and who is manipulating the system for their advantage on behalf of the children. So in order to look after these children most appropriately, you kind of have to ask some what seemingly is inappropriate questions.
Right.
Like, is this your dad or is this your mom?
And they're like, no, you're not speaking English.
Well, who knows how that conversation goes down, but it sounds like there's enough of that manipulation that we have to address it.
Right.
However, one, the whole kids in cages stuff is absolute bullshit.
Right.
We are the richest country in the world, and
Yeah.
we're the richest country to ever do it.
Right.
So I also think that like there has to be a system that allows us to expand this situation better, that like cages don't have to happen.
Right. But then the answer is like almost like just bigger orphanages, which is even almost I don't know if that's a worse problem or like what. I don't know where that goes.
Well, but in the meantime, right now we have kids in cages.
Right.
So that's just the matter at hand.
Right.
Trump gets hit with the kids in cages. It sounds as though Obama might have kind of started it with like kids going in cages, but it doesn't matter. Trump had kids in cages, right? So that happens. Everyone freaks out and goes, look, Trump's got these kids in cages, get the kids out.
Yeah.
Sounds like he kind of pulled the kids out of the cages. It takes like a month.
Yeah.
Biden starts what seems like an immigration crisis because he's telling everybody, you can come here now. Love, hope, peace. I got your guy.
Yeah. Come on in.
We don't have the system to support this.
No. He just said, come on in. He's like, oh shit. Too many.
And so
too
they
many.
reestablish the emergency facility situation, which was cages.
Yeah. So bad.
It took them like a month to put all these people back in cages.
God.
And what sucks about this is this obviously is a problem that we've all been trying to hopefully address with some sort of empathy and love.
Mm-hmm.
But like the media doesn't address it the same.
No. They kind of just the media. I mean the I wouldn't even say the media, like the main corporate media channels, right? If you will, they're pretty. I don't know if they're like lazy or they have too many stories to talk about, right? Because they're just like they kind of just have their talking points and kind of move on. They don't really get into like the in betweens, like we're talking about. Like, okay, like this is why it's happening. And yes, it can, the U.S. has known that it has been manipulated by parents and saying like, no, send the kids in, they'll get in, they'll start a better life, and that has been known actually.
Yeah.
And to and because the parents can't get in, they'll just get sent back real quick.
Right.
So, how do we deal with that? And how do we deal with that when knowing the kids won't have the parents are thinking that the kids will be let off and just sent to do whatever the hell they're whatever they want. And that's just unfortunate. And the U.S.
But it's confusing because it sounds as though it's not always a family unit that comes.
No, it's
so
like,
then there is a discrepancy of like, okay, are you coming in as like my sibling,
right,
or is it like my cousin?
Right.
So then if it is like myself and my cousin and then like my father or mother,
right,
it's like, how do you deal with that?
And are you lying?
Or is it like dad is a manipulative asshole that's
right,
like selling me to sex trafficking? That's not saying that like everyone, dude, most of the people coming over the border are literally just searching for freedom.
Yeah, they're searching for
They're searching for a better life. They're searching for hope. You know why? Because America still represents one of the beacons on earth that allows you to prosper be free from all of the other bullshit that some other nations still live by.
Yeah.
There's still some bullshit here. Yeah, we still have like obvious racial issues.
Yeah.
But like we do have a level of freedom that doesn't exist in other spaces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's a bunch of other countries that allow the same type of freedom, but they're still coming here.
Yeah.
Everyone's still piling in here for good reason.
Yeah.
We should be proud of that.
Yeah.
But it's so confusing because it's weird how it's not looked at as empathetic for the kids that are potentially being sex trafficked, as to like, we need to slow this process down and just ask the appropriate questions. That's not to say that you need to be like somehow like overtly like racist and all this shit, like everyone coming over the border is fucking malicious. And I personally don't really think that's what Trump was doing on that. I think he was trying to address a situation that was happening. The problem with Trump and all of it is he had the inability to articulate it. And I don't think he really gave a fuck about how to articulate it.
Right.
But now you have Biden who still doesn't even fucking address it. And the media would jump down any other president's throat if it was the righty president. Of like, fuck you for not addressing this.
I'll be honest. Like, even if like a left leaning ish, you know, I'm Purple Party as well, but like it, you know, whatever.
But you're more lefty, I'm more righty. And like when we finally find ourselves like in the topics.
But
at the end of the day, it's kind of, but we find ourselves coming to a lot of the similar conclusions.
Similar in the middle. And you know, what I'm picking up is like, you know, they're kind of like letting Biden slide quite a bit. You know, the things that are happening, because I have an application where I just like read the news from a very neutral perspective, and I just want to know what's happening, like full stop. And I do notice that like the basically a lot of corporate media companies are just letting Biden do whatever he wants, and they were really picking at Trump for everything he did, like from top to bottom. And then especially when it comes to immigration, especially when it comes to topics that are just grab at your heart. Well,
it was a full court press on Trump at all times.
All the times,
from the jump.
And because I think because of because of his celebrity, basically.
But I also think I don't think it's inappropriate for the news to be full court press on the Trump on the president. So even as
it should be
more of a conservative, I didn't think it was a problem that the media was full court press on Trump. Now, do I say fuck the media? Absolutely, because I think there's a lot of reasons to say the media is fucking bullshit. But I do like how the media acts more with a right president than a left president, because they kind of do their job a little bit. They actually investigate. Now, there is a little bit of like commentary journalism. You know, you get like the Chris Cuomo's of the world that says he's like investigating
the fucking,
when he's doing what we're doing. I'm giving Chris Cuomo shit for doing exactly what we're doing. Which is like, we're just talking out of our ass, and we're talking about how we feel. When journalism should really be about what you know. And this is a what you feel podcast.
This is a total what you
Sometimes feel. Sometimes we'll do a little bit of investigation, but our investigation is like YouTube dynamic.
Twitter.
You're also not looking at me as Chris Cuomo. You're looking at me as like, oh, this is just some random dude, LJ from like Venice.
A mild dude who's talking about smart topics,
And so, but like Chris Cuomo takes prime time on CNN, which is like supposed to be this reputable, 24-hour news broadcast, and he's doing exactly what we're doing. Which is just like, let's just talk my shit.
And being paid millions of dollars, by the way. And we're trying to get a fucking sponsorship by Hair Razor Coffee this whole time.
We are in a conflict.
In the courts.
With some of the most nutritious. Just taste. Beautiful. The flavor notes on Hair Razor Coffee.
Beyond.
I love you, Hair Razor Coffee.
Beyond. Yes.
This is because we care. And this is why we stay late up at night, because we're just drinking too much of this. Favorite coffee in the business.
You know, but because we're on YouTube, we can still say whatever the fuck we want. So anyway, back to where we're talking about. We are talking about kids in cages bombing MFs. He be bombing motherfuckers. You know, the drone is back.
So did you see how on his Instagram for International Women's Day, he said like, this is what, you know, not women in power look like, but this is what a general of the Air Force or whatever that was, right? But I also saw on one of the comments was, when the bombs are getting dropped on like Iran, will it say, this is the first woman to ever drop bombs in Iran?
Did she press the trigger? Like, she's like someone.
International Women's Day, we're finally bombing.
Happy International Women's Day. Dude, She's just like, some women in Arizona just bomb some motherfuckers in Iraq. Like, yay, she hit the trigger.
First to ever do it.
Woo. So I mean,
it's like first ever black female to press the nuke.
Woohoo! This is America. I swear, it's very strange. I get it. You know, people that are not from here, they're like, "What the fuck's going on there?" Like, we don't get it either.
We're working through it. We do have a really fun international base of followers, which we've been like super excited to discover.
Dude, we just discovered we have listeners in freaking
France, day ones. France. We got some Russia, which look, Russia, love you, but also kind of hate you. So confused by it. Not our listener.
I mean, hey, Russia, we you know, controversial. It is what it is.
But our listeners in Russia, we do love you.
We do love your non-spy women. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we love.
Oh, no, Russian spy women are gorgeous.
They're very hot. Yeah, I know. They're totally hot. But, you know, they're spying on us. They're taking our phones and stuff. And
I would love it if you got compromised by a Russian spy.
Dude, that would be awesome. I would love it. I would love the story too. That would be my biggest bar story of all time. Like,
I got compromised by a Russian spy,
bro. Like, I was with this hot ass Russian girl, right? Like, and then all of a sudden I come out, and then like she took all my data, and then all of a sudden she sold it to the Russian mafia, and now I'm screwed. But damn, she was hot.
Yeah. But you care too much about data protection.
Yeah, to
get caught in that.
We're doing like double onion VPNs. We're fucking.
But I do have to say to Reddit, because we do have some Reddit listeners.
Yeah.
You can find us best on YouTube and Spotify.
Yeah.
However, if you want to try to hack us, give it a try, because Cam really cares about this stuff.
Whoa. And don't fucking say that.
I would love to see you just hack the shit out of us.
No. Because, hackers know how to hack, okay? They'll fucking do it.
I know, but you're so concerned about it. That's why I just need to let it out and let you, like, breathe,
Jesus Christ, dude. No. Hackers know how to hack.
Just give it a hack.
No, please.
Because, like, he's talking about, like, he's all concerned about, like, two-factor verification. No. I'm just like, dude, they're going to get in. And I'm saying, come on at us,
dude. Hackers know how to do it. Like, I gotta change my password after this fucking podcast because like they know how to figure. Dude, I found some
King Cam. I almost get,
dude. I found
King Cam _1.
Dude, I found a TikTok. I literally TikTok where some like guy on TikTok, he was like, this is how you hack somebody's computer. This is how you take someone's passwords, and he's showing you he's like use this all you do is like use a program, and then like you take you take all their password from Google from the Google browser, and you just copy and paste them. Boom. Now you have all their passwords to everything they have, including their banks.
I'm just saying, like, come at
us. Don't. No, stop. Stop. No, Russia, we love you. Matter of fact, we love you so much. All hail Putin. Okay. Okay. No, don't do that. Okay. So after the bombing, motherfuckers, touching kids, he do be rubbing them shoulders. Isn't lowering minimum wage. So I mean, I think you're rising minimum wage. So that's what's interesting. What's interesting is the minimum wage topic came back up again, right? Of not raising it back to $15 an hour.
Well, they almost slipped it in. Yeah, it was like so close.
A couple things happened, right? They try to slip it into this stimulus bill, which they get that part got rejected. Okay, sure, it makes sense. But however, the whole topic of raising the minimum wage for $15 an hour is big right now. But also the big stipulant was. You have to raise your minimum wage $15 an hour for companies that have employees for over 300 people. So it's not small businesses. It's not with small businesses with 30 people. It's not small businesses.
I thought that was the hero tax. You're saying for minimum wage?
For minimum wage, you have to have 300 employees. Now that's mandated. Now that makes a lot of sense because the whole issue was like, listen, we don't want.
The only and I don't know if I've thought this whole thought through.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's okay.
But what I could see, I don't know how the economics of this work, like if economics theory, but it seems as though that sometimes minimum wage gives companies an out because they just play the minimum wage game, right? So it's like whatever minimum wage is, companies go, well, this is minimum wage. So it's $14.25. It's $14.25. Right. They just sit there.
Right.
So in a weird way, I almost think that while we play this game, it allows companies to always have this out of like, this is standard, this is status quo,
right?
Which minimum wage shouldn't really be. Even as like a conservative, I don't think of minimum wage as status quo.
Right.
Any good company, you should be paying your employees between $20 and $25 an hour at minimum.
Right.
That doesn't mean I think the government should mandate that.
Right.
But if you give a shit about your people, at minimum 20.
Right. Minimum.
And then when it gets more skilled, like minimum 25.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's what's confusing about minimum wage to me. I don't think it should be mandated, but I also think when it comes to like who is good and doing things right, what are we talking about? Like, it's not even like minimum wage will never even get close to what you really should pay.
Right.
And then all these other companies just be like, yeah, well, it's minimum wage. What do you want me to do?
Because even $15 an hour, it's already pretty late. Like, if I got $15 an hour right now, I'd be pretty mad. Like, I'd be like, what? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like bro, like,
well, it doesn't work in LA. Like, what are you talking about?
Hell no.
$15 an hour, like,
it's a joke.
Not happening.
$25 in LA doesn't work.
And like, I realize that we're coming from like a position of like, we've gotten to a space that doesn't make sense, and for a lot of people, they've somehow made sense of it.
Right.
But like, for some reason in my life, like that wouldn't possibly work.
Right. No, not at all. I was listening to my dad was showing me this thing before I went to court about this you know, the good court judge, whatever, the guy the guy's in Connecticut, Providence, whatever. He's like old and he always lets people off.
Yeah, I love that. He takes like he does the empathetic story and then he just like lets it drop.
Yeah. Even though like literally people like know who he is now and they're like, yeah, like I came to see you so you can like let me off. The guy's like,
well, I drove through the light and why are we driving through it? Well, it's texting. And like and then he's like, well, who were you texting? He goes, my daughter.
Because I was letting her know it was her birthday and I almost missed her birthday. And then wow, like all the shit. And then he gives the whole sad story and then he goes like, oh, okay, like I guess I'll waive your $30 ticket.
No, he always talks to his security guard. He's like, hey buddy, what do you think? And he's like standing there and he's like, I don't know, seems like a pretty good fella.
Yeah. And he's like, okay, I guess I'll waive your $30 ticket. And I'm just like, dude, like, what are you talking about? I'm sitting here like getting ready to go to court for fucking $13,000.
But his dude is always like, wait, but he ran over a child. And then the judge is like,
seems like a good guy.
Yeah, well, you know, second chances.
It's just how they run this.
I love that Providence judge though.
I'm almost waiting for the.
That would be if we had a laundry list of my people I really want on here.
Yeah.
It'd be like Tim Dillon and Providence guy.
Yeah, and People's Court lady.
Oh, Judge Judy?
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh.
She's way too rich to touch any of that.
Oh no, she's way too rich, but I would love to have her on. I would love to talk to her. I always wanted to talk to her since I was a little kid. But I'm waiting for the day for that Providence judge to be like, hey man, like someone's gonna come up with the saddest story ever and be like, yo, like, you know, I can't make this ticket, I can't pay my rent, I pay to this, can't do that. And he'd be like, tough shit. Like he'd be like, yo, like you fucked up. Tell me, like, we ran out of good cases for the day. Like I can only do so many. Like you came like number 11, like I can only cap out at 10. Like
no, he'd be like, you must be looking about my YouTube. Yeah. Not that type of day.
Not that type of day. Nigga,
no, we don't have the cameras running today. Sorry, buddy. Like,
nigga, that's
fuck you.
That's Thursday. You came on Wednesday. You like, fucked
How
up.
do you think we pay for the YouTubes? He's like, nah, buddy.
Yeah. Camera guy didn't come today, so you are up. So I'm like,
and he's slapping his security guard. He's like, he thought the cameras were running.
Look at this nigga, like,
he thinks how we do it like that. It's like, no, this ain't for YouTube. This is for fuck you.
Like, screw you, dog. Like, I ain't doing this for you. I was like waiting. almost 10 minutes. And I was like, damn. Like,
yo, what if he did get caught with like an Ellen case where he's just like the biggest prick behind the scenes? And just.
But at the same time, but like all the people that like got written off by tickets were like, I did write off my $30 ticket though. Like, we don't really give a fuck.
That's how it works with all those guys though. It's like, well, they were nice to me. It's like, no, but he was raping people. And they're like, yeah, but he gave me the movie deal.
Yeah.
He made my career.
Like I was able.
No, little child.
It is what it is. It it happens sometimes, you know. We're trying to figure this out. So, I think judges are strange. Is at the end of the day, we're trying to figure.
Are we still talking about Biden or what?
No, the point was is this lady couldn't pay her $30 ticket, and then so it rose to like $90, and this judge was like rated it off. But the point was, what I was trying to say is because this lady probably was getting like the minimum wage, is the minimum wage like $50, $60, $100 seems like a lot, to pay off any ticket,
right?
So like, especially when it's an additional expense plus your kids plus your everything that you have, because she had like 3 kids and her ex-boyfriend, I guess, that was paying the bills left her, for God's sake. So I mean,
dude, the dudes, what the fuck is with guys?
Dude, no,
guys
In all seriousness,
guys got to stop leaving the tribe, the whole family.
No, in all seriousness, like we don't talk about dude responsibility enough. Like we do bash on the women, but we don't talk about dude responsibility enough. Like us guys got to step our fucking shit up.
Oh my god!
And stop being so fucking lazy. Like I think a lot of this conversation about, especially about relationships and shit. I'm looking on TikToks and all this stuff, and they're like, "Why are these bitches doing all that?" And they wanna have all these high standards, and they wanna expect me to go to do all that. Blah 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 blah. But then I was like, and then we're kind of like, we're not really talking about the guy just being like lazy in the relationship. Like you kind of half-ass showed up for your girl.
I don't know what it is about men, but there's something goofy that's a little off.
Yeah.
And it messes everything up in society.
Yeah.
There is in order for when one man doesn't take his responsibility, which is like care for his girl, care for his kids, look after his community, which is just, it can be like your immediates,
right? Like
right around you.
Yeah.
Mainly start with your kids.
Yeah, your wife and your kids, like just, and your parents, like those three things.
If you're able to like look after your wife and your kids, you are doing society like such a good service.
Yeah, literally.
And too many people try to get like on racial grounds with this, dude. It is literally everywhere.
Everywhere.
It's a dude thing.
It's you know how many? Yeah, I don't get why it's like black people don't have fathers. White people don't have fathers either, and mothers.
100%. And what happens is that void. It literally takes like 10 to 15 people so much time to try to fill that gap that's left by one person.
Yeah.
And the problem is too, even with like 10 or 15 people strong, you still can't like fill that entire void, because that's a lifetime march that guy is supposed to be on for his crew.
Right.
And dudes think there's some level of like masculinity by like proving that you're not there for your crew.
Yep.
What are you talking about? Like your kin?
Yep.
You got to be there for your kids.
You got to be there for your kids, because it truly does translate into, what your kid or kids living the life with that chip on their shoulder about not having you there, and operating from that space, making decisions from that space, good or bad, whatever the case. Some do make bad decisions and some make better decisions. Truly.
Yeah.
But the ones who don't make the best of decisions, operate from that space, and it usually ends up hurting other people.
Well, that's the thing. Like even in like richer communities, you'll see dads just like paying the kids off, no emotional love attached. They think that like is somehow like, oh well, at least I'm doing like my monetary like thing, right? Like paying my child support, like doing my shit, fleecing the kid with like iPads and shit.
Right.
The downstream effect of what that child becomes is devastating. Because that kid actually probably hurts more life than the kid who like dad didn't have anything to even toss him dollars.
Right.
Was like so distant.
Right.
Couldn't even touch him. That kid's probably even got a better chance to make something great of his life than the kid who like is sitting up there with dad just throwing him like 5,000 stacks just to be like, shut the fuck up.
Right.
Why do you expect love from me? I'm throwing you money.
Right. And then think about it. Your love language that you receive turns into just giving somebody.
It's money. All contractual.
Yeah, contractual love. Yeah, and then like you play that game with other people, with your girlfriends, because you'll have many.
That's where the ripple. It's just like it's a deck of cards that like ripples through society.
It ripples because then now the girl's hurt and she's gonna hurt some other guy, and now you hurt the sister's brother. Now he's annoyed. Like that whole household of your girlfriend that you fucked over is now in disarray. And then maybe
chaos.
Yeah, and then
all the girls move here.
Yeah, they all move here to become actresses and TikTokers. And then they're like, I'm from Florida.
And then they break Cam's heart.
Yeah. And I swear, I'm always their last resort sometimes. Anyway, so it does have a ripple effect.
But this is seriously, the more I've experienced it, I think one of the biggest issues that we're having in our society is dudes not stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, they're not stepping up to the plate, and they literally. Dudes not stepping into the plate, being lazy and not making excuses for making excuses for his. You know what I realized, this is something true. It's very very kind of serious, but I really appreciated this from my dad today. So like so long story short is like I had to go to court for something today, and he literally like I realized how much my dad loves me for many reasons, but another reason why my dad loves me today, and I really appreciated it because he basically said like I got into a situation where he literally told me not to do, and like swore like, do not do this, and I was like, okay, I won't, right?
And then you just did it.
And then one day I asked him for my thing to basically do this thing, like my whatever, to do this thing, and he's like, are you gonna do that thing? And he's like, do not do it. You do not fucking do it. And I'm like, I won't do it. And I literally go and do it, and then like I get fucked over, and then the whole situation happens, and like all these situations happen beyond that. And then he goes, you know what? He's like, you know, shows up with me to go to court to deal with this stupid situation that I put myself into that he told me not to fucking do, you know. But like, you know,
but that's a fatherly love,
right? Because I'm like beyond my pure stupidity, still shows up for you.
Yeah,
I appreciate that beyond. I'm gonna remember that forever because I'm like, because like that's beyond contractual love. That's basically almost unconditional love.
It is unconditional love right there. You're experiencing it.
Yeah, I love you despite of your fucking idiot.
And he probably just wanted to be able to call his boys after that and laugh a little bit.
Whatever. You know what? But I'll take that reason.
Right.
For him, my dad to show up for me though. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Like, so think about that. Think about like the little piece of me. Like say you did, you know that. Cause I'm like, my dad really could have been like, go fuck yourself.
But he did. He was there to soften the blow.
Right. He literally gonna be like, you go fuck yourself. I told you not to do it. You're on your own, little bastard. You know, basically, you know. And then, yeah. But like someone could have did that, and then I would have been like, wow, like I you know, and it could have been my fault, and he would have been right in saying that.
And you know, that is one. It's so important for parents to be able to instill the values of like proving second chances matter.
Yeah. Right.
And so you don't see that in people that parents have fucked them, and I feel bad for people that parents have fucked them too. Right. My parents are like as loving as I could ever fathom. Right. And so I do. I appreciate that, and I realize that's God's greatest gift.
Totally.
And but it sucks. I feel empathy for individuals that like parents fuck them, but then like it's tough you got to break that cycle too, because like you start fucking over other people too. Like you like the lack of empathy, just like it keeps rolling sometimes.
Right.
And it's not even necessarily your fault.
No,
it's like shoot.
Yeah, but on the flip side, like we're talking about, the emphasis of love translates too, because guess what? You give love to others. You know, you give love to your people around you and others.
Sure.
Say, you know, I try to do the same
thing.
Your
cup overflows.
Your cup overflows.
And hopefully.
I try to do the same thing, you know, give love to others, you know, and that matters for the people in my relationships that, you know, that I care about. Mm-hmm. So it translates good or bad, you know. So point being is like us guys, like fucking, we could step our fucking game up, because this is, you know, we're put on this earth for a reason, and it's basically to take care of our own little tribe, and like that's the minimum we got to take care of.
And that's I think at the end of the day, as long as you're accountable for that, it's good.
Right.
But what's so cool is when a few people are accountable for their crew, that crew then overflows with energy, love, monetary gain to be able to also fill in the gaps of others.
Totally.
And so it really ends up just being like an overbearing amount of beauty that aspires from that.
Totally.
It's crazy.
It is, and it's beautiful, you know, and that's what we get to do as humans, as people, as good people, you know. We talk a lot of shit over on our podcast. We talk a lot of shit over on the Smart and Mild podcast, and you know, but we also, you know, we try to do good as well. You know what I mean?
We're gonna find it. We're gonna find some happy medium in this,
or even middle. So you know, if you're listening right now to us, you know, feel free to like and subscribe to Smart and Mild. Check out our shirts though. Because I don't know if you guys seen our shirts. We're matching shirts here.
Look at that. Look at this.
You know? Oh my God. My straw
Look at that.
Into my face.
So this is a Smart and Mild right there. 500. Go-Kart Cam. Official. Now, why is it that we have these Go-Kart Cam shirts?
Because we're going go-karting, boys. So basically, we started talking about go-karting. We're very big go-karting fans. We're very race car fans, racing fans. And we're also big Mario Kart fans.
Adrenaline junkies, boys at this point. And girls are invited too, but you girls know what I'm talking about, like the boys, like the adrenaline girls. You know what I mean? That's what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. The boys and the adrenaline girls. Yeah.
And then like you know, we race. We're going to go kart. We're going to go karting probably within the next week or so.
Yeah.
We're gonna race. We're really fucking dank. And we're gonna start racing people. We're gonna start racing Redditors, YouTubers, everything. If people want to talk shit on our comments, we're gonna start racing y'all in real life. By the way, we're not kidding around.
Right.
And we're gonna see what you got. And once I whip all of you, then I'm just gonna just really come into my name, King Cam _1, because I'm just the best go-karter there is. That's what it comes down to.
And that's the thing. We see all these YouTubers boxing, playing all these games. At the end of the day,
they're racing their $1 million cars, but they don't know how to drive like your boy in the go-kart. That's what I'm saying. So that's all I'm saying. Like those guys ain't shit. That's all.
You're high rev. You're going fast. He drives quicker than he talks, folks.
No.
Yo.
Drives quicker than I fucking I do a lot of things quick.
And if you want to get hyped up, go to King Cam. No, it's King Cam _1 on TikTok.
King Cam _1 on TikTok.
You got some monster videos right now. Your up dance.
Yeah, we gotta film another one because
jacked,
we're trying to like last time we promoted my TikTok on here. We got like 4 more followers, which is great. We want more followers on TikTok because we're trying to blow up the right way. We don't want these fucking these hot girls just doing this shit on TikTok and then just making all this nonsense. We want quality, proper, the right people on the internet doing the right thing. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not saying I'm the right person, but I am saying I'm the right person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it's good fun comedy, baby.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
And just get to smartandmild.com, buy some merch before race day, because these are going to be going quick.
Do you have advantage weight size? I absolutely. So that's part of the point, because I'm just that good. Because these niggas I weigh as much as a little kid. That's why. That's why I do so well.
But at the end of the day, it just comes down to who can handle the car and who's not scared to go fucking fast.
Fast as hell.
That's what go-karting really is. Just it's who's willing. But you're not a rubbing his racing guy.
No.
See, I trade paint.
I'm a clean.
So we haven't raced each other yet.
No.
I'll put you in the wall.
Yeah,
I'll send you over the barrier.
That's the whole point to not do. I'm just. But
that's why, as a team, though, I am a good number 2.
You can be a good shooter, point and shoot.
Get
him out my way.
Knocking him out.
Yeah, fuck them. Fuck everybody else's lifetime up but mine. I'll be the one right in front of you. Just
yeah.
It's lots of fun. And go-karting is really find the racing line.
And we're gonna what we're doing is putting go-karting back on the map.
Yeah.
It's nostalgia for every single living person.
Everyone likes go-karting. Everyone. No one disposes it, and everyone pretty much could afford it for the most part. And and just good fun.
And what's more American than if you ain't first, you're last? At the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So let's go into our Reddit comments, and then we got to go back into our topics in just a moment. So I'm looking at a number of things. Yeah. So Jugs and shit to Portland. What did it say? Something about Portland? Across the border in Portland. I'm not really sure. Oh, Jugs and chill in Portland. Yeah, that's true. The race hustlers in poverty. Pimps and CNN. Yeah. People are race hustling all the time. They don't share good, unfortunately, is a propaganda point. Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. People be race baiting like crazy. Interesting to see the opposite. Let's see. Google. I can't Google that right now. Yeah. Do you have the no question? Okay, so thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So yeah, so we're going to go into our next topics. I noticed a couple things that was happening. One of the biggest news stories of the freaking week, dude, and that's Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle and the Prince Harry bullshit. Oh my god, I kind of didn't even want to talk about this today, but we kind of have to because it's going around like circles. And okay, so to be frank, I didn't really watch the Oprah interview. Did you?
I'm not really a source guy.
Yeah.
I'm more about filter the bullshit.
Yeah. We're getting our news through Twitter.
The only reason, though, I think it was a long interview.
Yeah, I want to watch that. And I thought it was on Apple. I thought it was on Apple TV, and it wasn't. It's talking about CBS. The fuck would I go to CBS for?
Well, how do you find that?
Yeah,
is it on an app, or is it on you have to find it at 7 p.m.?
I gotta download the app, and
you had to have recorded it when it happened.
Yeah, and then I gotta download the app and fucking create my username and password and all this bullshit. Just tell me the talking points that I hear from on Twitter. I don't want to.
So very important.
Yeah.
We have not watched this.
No, we have not watched this.
I have not fully processed my thoughts on it.
I don't
know where I stand.
Yeah.
But I'm going to work through some of my thoughts.
Yeah.
Unfiltered, don't feel good about all my thoughts.
No.
I don't feel like I'm not okay yet.
Yeah.
With all this.
Yeah.
It's like disheveling to figure out where I'm at.
Yeah. No, this is going to go terribly. If anyone who knows any information about what's happening here, you're probably going to unsubscribe after this. But it's okay. It is what it is. But anyway, Meghan Markle. So let's start from the beginning, okay? So Meghan Markle is sucking royal dick, right? And then she goes like, "Oh, I got to marry this guy," and then somehow, some way, she didn't know what she was getting herself into, and then
she didn't realize that you curtsy to the queen.
And
she was like, "Wait, but I thought we only do that on TV."
Right?
You don't think the first time she was hooking up with him, she was like, "I can't wait for the curtsy," and then the curtsy's coming, and she's like, "Wait, do I have to curtsy?"
Like,
and she acts like she wasn't excited, dude. I have a feeling that she was actually in that car, being like, "This is fucking dope.
Yeah,
I'm going to meet the queen."
Bro,
she talks about it in this past tense of like, "Oh, but you actually curtsy, but I don't want to curtsy." Dude, bro, are you kidding? She's probably like, dude, texting her friend, FaceTiming, being like, "Dude, I'm meeting the fucking queen today." Bro, and can you believe it? She makes you curtsy still.
Check this out, guys. The reason why America is still tripping ballsack over the whole English picture, because somebody in America wants to be queen one day. They have this idea or being in the royal family one day. Guess what? Someone from the Suits gets it.
One of my favorite movies is Switch.
Switch, yeah.
Which Vanessa Hudson's.
Yeah.
Love her.
Yeah.
Kane's royal, right? She switches out.
Yeah.
It's even some male's dreams.
Yeah.
I'd maybe switch.
It's almost the American dream. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. And then so literally like everyone knows what they're getting themselves into.
And how many dude, how many primarily women during the royal weddings are like fucking in, dude,
wet
like
and everything,
all the way in. And I'm like, wait, so what's going on? They're like, they're getting married, and everyone like shuts down.
Yeah, they know what's happening next. They know what fucking dress they're wearing. They know when the time of what is happening. And you're not even English. You're from Wisconsin. Like, what are you talking about? Like, and you're so involved into this process. That's why Americans love it so much. People in England don't even love it as much as people in America.
And all the guys are like, wait, so we don't get to see them have sex?
Yeah,
like I mean, we're showing everything.
We don't see the consummate. Like, what's happening? Anyway, so the point is like, so Meghan Markle is talking about this like past tense, like she didn't like get it. Like, and I'm like, dude, like, if I was gonna, I don't know, this is just confusing. I'm trying to kind of come up with an example, but like, if I was gonna meet, screw it. If I was gonna meet Oprah, I kind of know what I'm getting into. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I know she's old, you know. I know when she takes off that makeup, I know she does not look like her. Okay, I know that she's rich, but she probably, you know, she may give me something on the side or something like that. I know she also lives in a relationship. I know like all these things, right? Like, or at least
I mean, if I go to meet Oprah, the first thing I'm doing is checking under my seat.
Checking under my seat.
Checking for the envelope. I'm going,
fuck, like you know, like how come you didn't put nothing there? Like all this stuff. So like, or at least I'll do a couple searches, Google searches, and like, who the fuck is Oprah? Like, for real, you know. As I'm, let's see how. So like I'm trying, so basically as I'm hooking up with Oprah, I'm trying to figure out like who she is. And this Meghan Markle didn't like come to the conclusion of like, yeah, like this is what we have to do. Of course, England is racist. Of course, they're gonna question. I'm the first black, you know, African American or half African woman going into the English royal family. Of course, they're gonna be weird about it. Of course, they're gonna question if my baby's gonna look like me. Of course, they're gonna have all these questions. Of course they're gonna look at me strange. I'm trying to figure out like,
and the whole idea is, oh wait, there's media pressure. Princess Diana got murdered by the media. Like what? I just, unfortunately, I do have empathy for her, right?
Yeah.
Because if she's talking about this realistically,
yeah,
where she says, I was so naive,
yeah,
that I would be pressured by the media, and historical expectations and the nuances of being royal,
right?
That like I would have to be breaking down barriers of conversation and trend and this hierarchy of thought,
right?
Like what? Like that's the whole reason that this story was so appealing from the get,
right? because we're almost thinking that like you're coming into the royal family to almost make maybe the smallest ripple of change, and then she's like, it's too hot, I'm out. I'm out, son. Like, this is weird.
And so first hot bit.
Yeah.
It's not a good look if by the time a girl like and you are like solidifying a relationship, she drives a huge wedge in between your family.
And in her own family.
And her own family.
Yeah.
That doesn't look great.
It looks bad. It looks pretty fucking
She
bad.
seems a little dicey on that front.
Right. And almost in any situation beyond royal, like if she was a girl from Wendy's, I'm like, if you're driving a wedge between your family and mine,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't know if I'm gonna like you.
Like, her dad seems to be not really respect her. Yeah. No, because he was like selling like photos to the tabloids or something.
Which is crazy.
And now he's all like sad about doing that. Okay, so dad sells you out, so she hates her dad.
Yeah, okay.
And then like hates her, I think, half sister.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Doesn't communicate with her family.
Yeah.
And now she drives a wedge in his.
Yeah.
And when you're basically calling grandma and dad racist, and then she's like, wait, I hate the stresses of public life.
Dude.
So that's why I'm talking on Oprah.
Oprah. Not only
bringing Oprah kind of to a new height.
Right.
If to think Oprah didn't have a new height.
Yeah.
She puts Oprah back on the map.
On the map. And
Oprah's been gone for 15 years. I get it that Oprah was here. But Oprah wasn't here like this.
No. Somebody was going to interview the royal family. It's going to be Oprah or Tyler Perry. And it was probably going to be Oprah. Oprah was always the voice of like the highest level black community. Like they're like, if someone's going to interview Jay-Z and Beyonce breaking up, it's going to be Oprah. You know, if someone's going to interview when Kim Kardashian gets with P. Diddy, it's going to be Oprah.
Because I was laughing about this earlier to you. I was like, it just shows that Britain's so behind the times that she went to Oprah.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, that was 15 years ago that you go on Oprah. Like,
on Oprah,
you know, it's like Joe Rogan now. Or I was even thinking,
Whoopi.
Give Whoopi a chance. Give Whoopi a handout. That lady's been battling in the trenches.
She's like, so you're sucking royal dick, huh? Like, just like
the Whoopi interview would be so much better for the meme world, dude. It'd be fucking chaos.
Because Whoopi would be like, yeah. So you didn't know you were getting into that? Like,
yo, but Trump had one of the best sound bites a year ago.
Yeah.
And his whole thing was like, Merkel. He's like, oh, I know Merkel or whatever, blah, blah, blah. For some reason, I sound like Barack Obama.
Right? Yeah, like, I know Merkel. Well, I'm like, okay. Like,
I sound like Barack. I do not know how to do impressions.
Yeah.
He's like, so I know Merkel.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say about her, but everybody knows I hate her.
Right.
But he goes, but Harry, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. And that was interesting. Like, people were taking it all types of ways when that happened, but it's like, damn, like he was right. Trump was right. Because I'm like, damn, like good luck with a girl like that. Like, and I'm not okay. So this whole thing is like, oh, you're bashing women. Okay, like who else is there to bash at this point? Like,
wait, was he in the interview?
Yeah. Prince Harry was in the interview.
So he did the whole hand on the leg.
Yeah,
and just
like it's okay, honey. Like I don't know. Of course, we didn't see the interview, so we don't really know what happened. But he was there, and I guess at one point, like they were like. It was just Meghan talking to Oprah by herself, though.
That's what I was confused by. So I saw those pictures and I didn't know if he was there.
Yeah, I saw two parts of it. I was kind of confused about that too. But I'm not gonna watch this later either. Like I'm not gonna sit here and watch this shit. So anyway, what came up with one of the biggest stories was like, basically Oprah Winfrey revealed that that basically Elizabeth and Prince Philip were not involved in the racist. Basically saying like they were concerned that the baby was going to turn out brown. But like, of course, I don't get it. Like,
well, and okay, he's pretty pasty.
Yeah.
Any female is going to change the skin color of that.
Yeah. Like, dude,
but actually
a darker white woman.
But hold up.
A brunette.
But the redhead thing is dominant though.
Yeah.
What are they so fearful of?
No, there can be like mixed black redhead girls.
Yeah, but doesn't the redheadness of that dominate that gene?
I don't know the answer to that.
I mean,
black dominates pretty well too. Like black skin tone predominates pretty well.
Look, I could be wrong, and I think the redheadedness kind of beats that shit up, dude.
But I've seen like mixed Irish and black people. Like they're just like they look like light skin light skinned girls with curly red hair.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, and I mean it's just confusing thing.
Yeah.
Because like, I have a hard time personally believing that was an honest question that happened.
No, that's
like that. It has to be somehow taken out of context.
Yeah.
Or subliminally thought.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. Do I think that there was possible like racial tension in the family?
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, I don't question that.
Yeah.
Do I think that like there's racial tension there's so much racial tension in all this bullshit anyway, all the time in the world.
Right.
Like whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I think the whole world's racist, but there's sometimes racial tension.
Yeah.
But sometimes I just don't know if that was said.
Yeah. So it's like, but I'm trying to figure out, like, I'm on the side of, even if Prince Harry or whatever, or the dad or whatever his fucking name is, Prince Charles, was even like, he asked the question himself. Even if he asked, I don't know what he said, but even if he asked the question himself,
he's like, "What do you think the baby's color?"
He'd be like, "Man, like that." I don't even care if he said like, "Damn, like that baby's gonna be brown." Like
what if he was like,
"I get it." Like, oh yeah, like okay, like yeah, he is. Like I wouldn't be like, like, how dare you say such a thing? Like no, like I'm like yeah, the baby's gonna be brown and shit. Like he's gonna change your whole motherfucking family. And matter of fact, I'm gonna bring another nigga in here and then we gonna make him even browner. That's what I would say. But like somehow, some way, like it's just like, oh victim, I'm so sorry. This is so sad. Woe is me. Like how could you dare ask a question about how it's not something naturally is gonna happen? That of course the baby's gonna be a little brown. Like goodness.
But I have what I'm confused about is. Okay, so there might be a level of isolation that the family experiences by being royal.
Yeah.
Even though they have like no power.
Right.
They are the Kardashians.
Yeah.
Let's not get this twisted.
Right.
They're no different than the Kardashians, right?
Right.
But like they have some like weird trust of money that's sitting around.
Yeah, they're rich as fuck probably.
But I feel like their parents have had enough. It's not like they're isolated, like going to like Alabama, some racist parents that never talked to a black person.
No,
these are like the biggest socialites in the fucking world,
bro. They just
that's what I'm confused by. It's like, what are you talking about?
No, they just knighted Lewis Hamilton, the best race car driver in the fucking world. Like first of all, first African American race car driver from England, by the way, from Stevenage, and is the world's best race car driver in Formula One history. And it's gonna be even better. He's gonna get his 8th world championship. And Queen of England just knighted him like
cut him.
Like
as a racial.
Like you're Sir.
I did.
Sir Lewis Hamilton. Like so. I mean, I'm not saying that makes you unracist, but I'm just saying like, of course, she's exposed to like people.
They almost make it. They make it seem like it's like, oh, this is. Why do I think not? It's not Prince Harry or the king, right? Whatever.
Yeah,
the king.
Prince Charles, whatever. Yeah.
Prince Charles. They make it seem like he is like this. Oh, this is like the first time he's talked to a black person.
No, like come on, guys. Come on. Guys.
So I don't know, but
come on, I just don't understand.
But I do probably think that Meghan Markle was experiencing some like weird racial shit when she was over there.
No, I agree. I'm sure she was, but like literally, like there's a level of like you should kind of expect it, and like there's a certain level of like. And I'm not saying like you should wave it off either, but I'm also saying like you can't be a victim to it either, because British media gets on everyone, period, for every reason, right? Like, so does the Italian. Like if I went into Italy and got with some like hot Italian high ranking chick, they're gonna bash me in all the Italian languages there are.
But that's what the royal family's for.
That's what they do.
That's like their whole job is to get bashed by the media, isn't it? Like that? That's literally like the whole point.
Yeah. If I went and dated,
it's like the Kardashians. Like that's their job is to fuck. I was talking about last week. The Kardashians probably sent out a press release that, hey, this is Kendall Jenner doing this tequila company. Fuck Kendall Jenner.
Right.
Like they just absorb the. I think they actually do the negative press release.
Oh, interesting.
Like the royal family's still playing that whole cover up card, but at the end of the day, the whole reason they even exist is for media bashing.
Right.
They're old school media bashing.
Right.
Before we even had Instagram, when we only had papers and like thought processes, like, what's the Queen doing today?
The Queen does this, the Queen does that, the Queen took a shit, like the Queen went outside.
Because we need like that. Human nature needs something to think about.
Wow.
Which is like, oh, Queen.
Yeah, and then what's interesting is like the receptive of people like coming out like, wow, like the Queen went outside and watered her grass, and like, wow, she's such a human being. Like, oh God.
But Meghan Markle.
Yeah.
okay, one caveat. I do empathize with her with the whole mental health stuff.
Yeah, because it's hard. I get it.
Dude, people struggle with depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts. Been there, didn't do that.
Yeah.
But, and so I get that. Mm-hmm. But also, in feeling those things, I get it that she had, why would you put yourself out there like this? She goes, I'm scared for my security. But then she says, oh, but I'm staying at Tyler Perry's.
We didn't know that before.
Why would you give off your address?
We didn't know that shit. I can look up Tyler Perry's house right now. I'm sure I'll find it in a couple seconds.
Exactly. So that seems kind of crazy to me. If you're so scared of your security, why would you not Snowden this and go, you can't find me.
Yeah.
I can't tell you where I live.
Right.
You give your fucking... by saying that, you're giving your address.
Yeah, because that's easy. Fine.
So that doesn't necessarily line up.
Right.
And then... her trying to act as though she gave up her career for this, dude.
Come on, stop. First of all, of course you're gonna give up your career going royal, bro. Like, what?
But you could do that, couldn't you?
Yeah.
I guess you obviously couldn't be a B-list actress anymore.
Yeah, but of course, that you're upgrading. Like, you're going royal. Like, of course you're gonna.
And I thought, I honestly, honest to God, I thought she was a big time actress. I thought she was Olivia Munn.
No.
I fucked up. I was like, oh shit, like she's been in a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm looking at Olivia Munn movies. I totally fucked up.
She's totally B-list. Yeah, totally. Like, she's like the
dude. I couldn't believe it that I messed that up.
Yeah, she's like someone the character hooks up with and then leaves. Like, that's like okay, that's so bad. But anyway.
But what was her TV show?
She was in Suits. That's all I know. All I know is that she was in Suits at one point.
The whole season? Like all of them?
I don't know. I don't even know past that. I just know that she was in Suits at one point.
But I've heard Suits is awesome.
I heard it's
like
awesome.
Anybody who says like they're like, yo, Suits is the shit.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like, it's just I feel like this topic kind of goes in circles and it goes also nowhere. So like I don't know. The whole Meghan Markle thing is just kind of dumb, and maybe we can continue talking about it another time. But it's just like you know, Oprah's ridiculous. Everybody's ridiculous in that whole thing, and I think everyone looks like clowns at the end of the day.
So one of the topics also was Prince Harry dressed up as a Nazi.
Oh, when?
Once.
When he did that?
Back in the day at a party.
Oh, okay.
He actually wore a swastika.
Yeah.
On his arm.
Yeah.
And so her dad comes out yesterday now and has an interview, and he's like, "Hey, I've been trying to reach out to my daughter." He is like, I have really fucked up in my life. He's like, I've honestly sold pictures of my daughter to the press. He's like, and she knows this. That's the reason their relationship deteriorated.
Well, I mean, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, and he's saying that. He's like, dude, I've totally fucked up, and I don't think she'll ever talk to me again. He's like, but I've been reaching out on interviews, hoping that she could forgive me.
Dude, so is this whole family a bunch of victims? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck am I hearing?
But he ends it. He ends the interview with, I've done a lot of bad things, but I've never dressed as Hitler. Just taking a stab at her husband.
Bro, everyone in this whole fucking situation is just clowns, bro. This is just like media clown circus, and I think this is because something's wrong with the water, and someone hasn't fixed the water yet. So I think that's why we're talking about the royal family.
And then the last go of it all, which we are done with this, is the last bit of their woe is me bit is we are out of the royal family trust. We only have Princess Diana's trust. We only have $25 million left.
Guys.
They are so lost in this fucking crazy world.
And you think that you won't get money being the royal family? People will literally give you millions of dollars, and you write a book saying shit sucks. People will make you millions of dollars just like that. Like you can stay at your Tyler Perry's house for free. I can't stay at Tyler Perry's house for free. You know, you can.
They're not paying him rent.
You can go to Dubai right now and be like, hey, like royal family in Dubai. Like I know, like hey, like if you let me stay at one of your palaces, like that would be dank. And then I'm sure they'll be like, oh fuck yeah, royal family, come on in. Like when you're that, you have access. You have access when you're that.
Life has been so horrible. I've been at Tyler Perry's house in Bel Air. How dare it is horrible.
And because I excommunicated from my own family. Like, what the fuck are we talking about, my guy? Like, so I'm just trying to figure out like just what are we talking about? Like,
I love this. We might have to Google this a little bit later, but they say, have you guys seen the cottage they lived in before they first married?
The cottage?
Yeah, they had like a cottage in parentheses here. Let's go Google the cottage that they grew up in or they got married in.
God. It's so like this whole thing is just so stupid. And then what is even more stupid is that like Americans, and especially a lot of American women, just like attach themselves to it, like and they're like having conversations, and they're even like having conversations under the conversations. They're like, oh, they're like, someone's like, oh, Oprah did so much for us, like, and then other conversations like, Oprah ain't done shit for us. How she did the interview? And then like people were like, oh, like I don't like Meghan Markle's fucking no. And then people were like, oh, Meghan Markle has Meghan Markle with the Whoopi Goldberg thing. She's like
with McCain,
Meghan McCain, which she's like, she's done more for the American people than George Washington and Christopher Columbus did. Then she's finished what they done by taking the power away from the British power. And I'm like,
it almost made Whoopi implode.
Yeah, she was like, okay, like if she was in front of you, she would have slapped the fuck out of you. Like she's like, you dumb idiot. So
luckily, it's all like Zoom calls.
Yeah, she's like, goodness gracious.
It's so funny, man. I mean, I love this stuff. People, it's the way that we're just so willing to just throw people under the bus so quick. The royal family's under the bus, and obviously racist, disgusting, whatever, blah blah blah. I don't necessarily believe that, nor do I fucking care. But
Jesus Christ, this is the cottage. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're fine, dude. They're fucking fine.
The family does not love us. They put us in the cottage.
These guys need to like calm their tits, okay? you know how many people don't have $25 million? Okay, like calm down. Like,
but that's not even real either, though.
And it's not even real.
Because like that, like that she could start a nonprofit tomorrow,
right?
Which she probably already does. I literally have no idea what
dude,
she does.
She can have a GoFundMe tomorrow, and then she have like millions of dollars. Like. Okay, there's a certain difference between like having money and having like unlimited access, right? Because like some people might have $10 million, but they have access to everything, right?
Well, it's done. Like every book, you're gonna make like $5 million. Right. It's like after becoming president of the United States. Yeah, it's done.
You like money is not really it's not really the thing that you're after. It's like you can do whatever you want. Like if I'm president of the United States, I can ask Jeff Bezos to use his jet to go somewhere else if I wanted to.
But you marry the prince, you are now a duchess. It's fucking done. You excommunicate from your family. You're almost probably helps.
Yes, I'm saying you're almost in that level. You're like past money. Like you know what I'm saying. Like what you're talking about. Like you're talking about it like you're a simpleton. Like you're past that.
Dude. It's crazy.
It's crazy. I don't want to talk about it. It's stressing me out. Like I hate this shit like so much. I just hate it, and I'm like, what are we fucking talking about? Like, I'm sorry. It gets a little annoying with this.
I love it.
This royal family shit. Okay.
Go find me the royal wolves.
Go family. Yeah, they're crazy. So anyway, last thing I noticed is this whole week, Donald Trump is separating himself from the Republican National Convention because he doesn't want the Republicans to be able to use his name anymore.
Well, like, I really want to see him go into the whole bit that Ronald Reagan did with the Democrats.
Yeah.
I didn't leave the party left me. Before we get into this, go find us out on YouTube, Spotify, baby. We will be there. This is Smart Mild Hot Topics. Some things smart, some things mild, but everything Hot Topics. And now we're going to get a little bit Trumpy.
Yeah.
Even though, Trumpy is leaving the media, he will probably never leave the media space. Probably starting his own network. Also, was seen out in front of Trump Tower for the first time since presidency last week.
In New York?
In New York.
Oh, yeah, I saw a video about that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's interesting. But
so what do you think he's doing? Is this an intentional split of the Republican Party? Like, where does this go?
Because we're trying to figure that out. He's kind of like bouncing around, saying like he might not run. He doesn't want to run again, but he might run again. But he might run again, but he might not run again. And like I think that's where the confusion that's in place. Because like if he runs again, then what he's doing kind of makes sense. Like he doesn't want to separate himself, create his own party or something, and then maybe go back like he did with the Republicans in the first place, and then like say like yeah, okay, I'm with you guys.
What it's gonna be so funny when Trump can do no right
to
the left.
Yeah.
But if Trump separates the Republican Party and creates a three-party system, which we've all been begging for.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
So if literally we end Trump's era and he is the man that's known for creating three parties in America, democracy.
What
do you do?
I'm not gonna lie.
What do you do?
And like, what if it like is the legacy up beyond that? It actually turns out actually being like kind of decent, like pretty good,
dude. Having a true three-party system would be phenomenal for this democracy. Right. I think.
Yeah.
Don't know anything about how to be able to form appropriate democracy.
Right.
The only thing I know is from my personal experience, from my brief observation from YouTube, Wall Street Journal, and bullshitting with some of my best friends.
And Twitter, yeah.
Two parties don't seem to be working that well
for
some of the people in the middle. I'm kind of a middle person.
Yeah, right.
I have my biases on the right, but that I'm still a little bit more middle than like for sure a Trumpy.
Right.
He would kind of go down as like a little bit of a legend.
Yeah.
Not a bad move for him in historical standards, because the History Bites books would have to write that in a bit.
Yeah, and like they would have to write that in for sure. Like beyond past his everything that he did, that would have been probably the biggest thing that he would end up doing is creating a three-party system. And I think it's actually good. I truly think that's a good thing. And I'm not for Trump. I'll damn near pretty much anti-Trump for the most part. But like I mean, kind of wasn't. Whatever. I'm still neutral. Whatever. Who cares?
They care.
I'm trying to figure out like my political party. It's mostly nothing. I pretty much hate them all. But basically, if he creates a three-party system, that would be great. But it's also separating the Republican Party in two. You know, because it's like Republicans that are for Trump, Republicans that are not. But
the Republican Party in two, especially if the Trumpers go, leaves such a good gap for a lot of Democrats that have been waiting. There's a lot of, like, honestly, diversity in the Democratic Party that would love to get on board with some Republican values.
Oh.
But there's this void. They're like, dude, y'all are so fucking racist, or perceivably so racist, or let racists lead you, that I have no space in this.
Interesting.
So I actually think the Republican Party has a better space to divide than the left. Because the left is kind of like lockstep with each other.
Right.
Most of my Democrat friends are like, dude, I am right here.
Right.
However, I do see that there's a group of minorities that are like, I vote Democrat because of my identity, not because of my values.
Right.
So who knows?
Right.
There could be this huge thing in the middle that just bubbles up. I think that Trump leaving separates them further right, and then now there's this void in the middle for a group of empathetic Republicans to come in and say, we're not minimum wage like Republicans. We're just people that are like, yo, diversity matters, but diversity of thought matters even more of diversity of faces. And like saying, like, I'm going back to kind of like the MLK days, which is like, I'm going to judge people by the content of their character, not the color of their skin.
Yeah. I think
that's what it's supposed to be.
I think you're really optimistic, but at the end of the day, I think Gavin Newsom will be the president of the Republican Party. At the end of the day, I think that's what it's going to come down to. Because he's like, hey, no one on the Democratic side likes him, and he's just like, fuck this. I'm going to be that guy just on the Republican side. He already looks evil as is. And he's just going to be like, yo, like, I guess I'm just going to be that guy. Flip it. Do what he's doing in the same way, and everyone's just going to be like, I love you.
You think he could come Republican?
I really do, and I think he'll probably win as a Republican. No joke.
He's like the most hated person by the Republicans right now.
But they can be flipped. Donald Trump called the Republicans stupid as fuck.
Yeah, no, we're cool with getting called stupid because we're all little idiots.
Yeah.
Like, if we were good, like, do Ancestry, right? The most Neanderthals are in the Republican Party.
I know. If you've seen the Democrats, they're pretty fucking dumb too. Democrats are the guys who think they're smart, but they're fucking stupid. Like the idiot. Like some people, it's possible to be so smart that you're just incredibly stupid. You know what I mean? Have you been? Yeah. I'm sure you've been around those people.
Well, the Democrats are just so scared of each other. They're like, we just need to build a system to protect ourselves from ourselves.
Yeah.
And we are smarter than the other, and so we will dictate how it rolls.
Right.
The Republicans are like, rubbing his racing motherfucker. First to the finish line wins. Let's rock.
Let's rock.
And it could be the dumbest idiot in the room.
Yeah.
Who's like, I mean, you get these like poor white assholes from the South who are like, well, motherfucker, like, we just have to have a free market. Like, it's working for me. It's not working for them at all.
No, it's not.
But it doesn't matter. Yeah. They're like, they still just want to live their open life, and I love that.
Right. Democrats are like the people in Disneyland that directly, like, one at a time at a go-kart track. One, you do a lap, and then the next one, and then it has to be safe. You wear a mask, and then don't bump into each other.
Yeah.
That's not follow the rules, or you get bumped out. Like, that's what the Democratic side. And I know I'm using a go-kart analogy, but that's the only thing I can think of right now. Because we're
which they have totally empowered.
Yeah.
The COVID cunts.
Yeah. They 100%.
Which and I say cunt, and I know that is probably one of the most inflammatory words I think you can say. But I think it's actually a gender neutral word.
Neutral word. I think
it's non-binary.
Yeah.
And so I use that as everybody can be a COVID cunt. And I've met in Venice more COVID cunts that were guys than COVID cunts that were identified or perceived as female.
Yeah. No, totally. You should. I've seen mostly women, but it is what it is. You know, the only people bug me about shit about COVID is women, but sometimes it be like that sometimes. So our last thing, we're gonna check out our comments before we head out. Basically on Reddit, we're saying Harry knows what they did, and the mother as a Dodi was a Muslim Arab. I'm not sure what that means. It's bull. Racism should be tolerated. Black. First of all, oh my god, I'm so glad you said that, because someone interviewed. No. You just made me think of something else because you said the word blacks. Okay, so we gotta stop saying the word blacks. Like, I saw something that there's the interview that there's like a rise in people having, basically, I don't know what the issue is, but people having issues with like Asian people. You know, there's like attacks on Asian people right now. And then there's literally this like Asian American reporter. She was like on CBS. She's like, "What do you think about the blacks attacking Asian people?" And I was like, first of all, I'm looking at this Asian woman. Like, first of all, how fucking dare you say that? Like, I hate when like people that are also a minority get on other minorities and say what the fucking whites people say. I'm sorry, but like I really ticks my nerve.
Well,
because hold on, because just hold on, because like if you're like Mexican, Arab, whatever, Chinese, I don't give a shit what you are. If you are a minority, especially in America, do not come at any other minority like a white person. I swear that's gonna get you fucking punched. Okay, there is no whites, blacks, like there's no yellows. There's fucking African Americans. Stop being lazy. Let's get specific. You know, at minimum, call them African American people. Call them African Americans, Asian Americans, outside of India and Russia. It's called, call people by their country at minimum, or just call them by their name. But like this whole fucking colorism is driving me up the wall. Like, especially when you're just lazy with it. Like, God, Lee, I'm sorry. But like the person said, I get what you're saying. Don't get me wrong. But like, it's just like that whole bullshit with like just being lazy with it. Like, just be more specific, because last time I checked, there can be Australian blacks, there can be Brazilian blacks, there can be fucking Russian blacks. So stop all this nonsense about like they're from Africa to some descent, or they're from somewhere else. Like, in they're Asian, they're African Russian, they're African European, they're African whatever. But stop all this colorism bullshit. It drives me up the fucking wall. So continue.
Well, one thing is sometimes it's confusing because I don't think there's a uniform dialogue that's understood, right?
No.
So like, I think that's a conversation that has to happen within African American culture or Black culture.
Yeah.
Sorry to use that term, but but I'm saying like that has to come from within and to that you understand. As a person who's like this random white dude from Minnesota, sometimes I feel like the language is always changing. So I'm like, I'm always cool with language changing, but sometimes people are like, yo, again, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sometimes like language evolves really fast, and then if it does change, you got to realize that sometimes it takes time for people to like adapt to it.
Yeah.
Because we do like to take this really high pedestal of like, well, once it does change, like, okay, we're just supposed to call everybody African American. Cool. I can get on that bandwagon. But then what happens is other white people who now like hear that, they turn around and they use knowledge that they just learned today, and they'll be like, immediately get to turn around to another white person when they hear black and go, motherfucker, you're racist, blah blah blah. Like, you're supposed to use African American. It's like, okay, cool, awesome, new knowledge that I need to learn.
Yeah.
But like, if someone's resistant to it, I get that can be a different type of conversation. But sometimes it's like there'll be like a Twitter knowledge of this is what today represents, and then someone will be like, if you haven't heard about this, you're a fucking idiot. It's like, whoa, like this just changed.
Yeah. White people do that that to each other, and that looks a little weird on Twitter. I ain't gonna lie.
But there is this
European Americans. Excuse me.
So to speak even more, kind of in depth into the conversation that you were talking about, of this Asian American that was talking about the black community, as she stated, right? Mm-hmm. Which you're like, yo, we should call this the African American community. I get that.
She didn't say she said blacks.
But I would just, for a lot of my friends, I think that right now there's a punching bag on the right, or on white America, of white America is the only group that can be racist. Okay, not cool, because racism they're talking about as being a hierarchy. So you have to have power and privilege in order to be racist. Racism is a system. However, racism to me originally meant prejudice. So if I was prejudiced based on your skin color, that meant you were racist.
Right.
However, people are trying to change that term around, so they're saying racism about systematic things. Right. So okay, cool.
Right.
But what I understood is that worse than racism is prejudice.
Yeah.
So now that term has kind of distanced itself from what it meant before. Prejudice to me always was a very, very negative thing to have.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I was prejudiced to you based on your color of your skin, by having preconceived notions about what you're thinking, doing, or acting, or your intentions for life based on your skin color, that was the worst thing you could be. I always grew up knowing that.
Right.
But to me, that was called racism before, but now it's prejudice.
Yeah.
While the white community is right now, for good reason, being the punching bag for everything that is racist, I do see that there's some other races that are allowing themselves to speak very prejudicedly towards other races.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, dude! Like, you gotta chill out. Like, in 20 years, this isn't gonna go well.
Oh yeah, I've seen
that doesn't work, because in white communities that does not happen right now.
Right.
It happens obviously in some, but in vastly, like, it's so weird to like listen to educated people who went to like Ivy League schools be so willing to talk so prejudicedly about other races. I'm like, holy shit, dude, this is gonna really blow up in your face.
Yeah.
If you're not careful.
Yeah, and I really want to send this message out to even my African American friends, because there's a certain level of like, when it comes to like educating people on like what racism means to you versus like straight up bashing other countries and races, just like you don't like to you, because you really got to think about, even if I was a black man standing on stage, expressing my thoughts and feelings about racism, I really have to think about, like, if I was a white man saying the exact same thing to others, I really got to think about what this looks like, because eventually at the end of the day, it is going to look back like, it may not be a white person looking back, but it might be an Asian person looking back, or a fellow whatever, or like a Canadian or whatever face movie looking back. They're like, that was pretty, I don't like the way you talked about my people.
Yeah. And so we do have a commenter saying, something about that's not true. Anyone can be prejudiced, but white racism has results, right? So in the sense that like white prejudice, which we're calling racist because white people are the only people to be racist, but prejudice has bigger side effects.
Yeah.
I agree to that. I'm not discounting that when I'm saying that. So they're just saying that's what the difference between racism and prejudice means.
Okay.
So racism has systematic results to your prejudiceness.
Okay.
So the cops and the system are working in the favor of white people and not black and brown people in these spaces.
I see. Okay.
Right. So I'm like, okay, I understand that. But there is also a trickling effect that the white individuals in America are not going to be the power structure forever.
No.
That is going to end.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is that when that ends, it will flip quick based on that prejudice will then quickly turn into a negative where the system's working for its advantage. So as a white person, all I'm saying is like, dude, I get it. And that system doesn't work in your favor yet, but it will soon. It will over time. And then when the system works in your favor, you will be any issue that you're talking about when it comes to race, you end up walking on eggshells because at any time, if I speak wrongly about another race, will get fucking nailed.
Right.
And that switch hasn't switched for any other group quite yet. Not like to the gravity that it is for white individuals. That's not to say that people don't get bashed for speaking out on race. Nick Cannon got fucking hammered for speaking out on race.
Right.
And
I mean, granted, it was against the executive of his company, but still, yeah. I mean, horrible, but
he was like, because he was saying that melanin gives compassion, and melanin is related to empathy, and if you don't have melanin, you physically in your DNA, you don't have the ability to garner as much empathy as someone who has melanin. That is as blatant prejudice as you can have. Like that's like the deepest rooted type of prejudice ever.
No, yeah,
and
horrible,
so he got hit hard on that, but there's not an overwhelming sense of the way that it's gonna hit when it does hit for how it's hitting right now for white people.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
I totally see what you're saying. Yeah.
So it's a tough conversation because I'm not saying that like, dude, white people who are racist, like, fuck you, dude, stop.
Right.
Like, it's not right. Prejudice is fucking the most disgusting thing in the world. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And it should stop at that. Right. Like, dude, prejudice 100%. Is fucking disgusting.
100%.
And I even so that's, I mean, it's a rant.
No. I that's it's a good rant too. And prejudice should stop. And that's basically what I'm talking about. Judging someone from the ability, from what they look like or whatever their skin color is. And that's basically what we're talking about. And for me, additionally, what I was talking about is just like it's I feel like almost like racism and prejudice comes from like a level of like almost laziness of like not being able to investigate. I mean, of course, you don't have time to investigate each individual person, but it's just like it's not doing it's not doing the best due diligence for the person.
Yeah.
By judging them because of you saw someone else do something. Like if I don't like you because because white people rip everybody off.
Yeah.
There's something, or I all of a sudden I don't like you, but like you don't rip people off. I didn't do my due diligence on you yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like to me to call you something like that, it's very lazy of me to do that. If that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, and we all have our specific comfort levels with levels of prejudice.
Yeah.
Where we're like, yeah, I get it. Like, I'm a white guy from Minnesota. Like, I kind of have to like prove myself in a way to not have the racial thoughts that people expect from me.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's I walk into a lot of rooms like that when I say I'm from Minnesota. I'm like, okay, I'm coming in with this certain perspective. People will probably have a perception of me that like maybe I have like some racial issues that I need to like deal with or something. I don't know. Like that's how sometimes it feels.
Yeah.
But because the people are like, oh, you're from like, you probably know a Trump voter. I'm like, yeah, dude. Like half the people I love are Trump voters.
Yeah.
But so this is so interesting. Let's go back to even the conversation of like African American or black.
Okay.
Because I guess the way that I was trying to describe it was like 2 years ago, I think it came out as we are supposed to address communities of color as POC. People of color.
Yeah, I remember that.
So it all came out as people of color. Mm-hmm. And then about a year ago, it changed to Black Indigenous people of color. So it BIPOC.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't even agree with that weird shit.
So that's where it like kind of, that's where it like, this is where this is the best way for me to be able to articulate kind of how the evolution of dialogue and how we like deal with the situation of, because I'm not really in those conversations, but I have to reflect those conversations where I have to like say, okay, cool, like that's what I'm doing now. But a lot of the times, by the time it's like, hey, did you not know that you were supposed to say people of color? I'm like, no, I didn't, but I will. People are like, but I can't believe you didn't know that yet. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I'm saying people of color, and then everyone's like, dude, it's Black Indigenous people of color. Like you have to represent the Black and the Indigenous. Those are different life experiences than all people of color.
Yeah.
And then I'm still kind of waiting for like the Asian descendants to have to get now their place in the people of color that's probably not fully represented in that space. And so now it's like we're back to like a long ass acronym that would, when it really comes down to it, is let's address all people based on the fact that they're probably a singular identity. Yeah,
I guess I'm saying that's
right?
What I'm saying. They're a singular identity. They're not their identity is not the color of their skin.
And that doesn't mean that I can't understand that maybe you have understanding of life differently to me because you are black,
right?
And that there might be a set of historical circumstances that I need to be responsible with while talking about these things, right? But like, so having that like historical context, like, okay, yeah, I had that, but then also at the end of the day being like, but I actually don't have any idea before I know Cam, about how he feels about that, no fucking idea, at all. And you don't have any idea what it feels like to be white,
no, not
and so like, and there might be there's a diverse amount of experiences that comes with too.
And I've told you some of my experiences. My experiences are all the way Negro, like they're not all the way like that sometimes. Like sometimes I get privileged a little bit too. So it's so that's what I'm saying. Everyone gets a little, basically has their own individual experience is what I'm trying to say. And then, like to come out, your prejudice against someone because of how someone else treated you or how your experience with somebody else that looked had a similar skin tone as someone else. It's a shame. It's lazy on you. That's my point.
Do you see a sentiment like from like the Twitterverse about like African American people being called black? Is that something that's gaining momentum of being like, let's go more back to that type of dialogue?
No, it's just like I'm not even.
It's just a personal bit for you.
Yeah, it's not even personal. It's a personal bit for me because it's not even people saying black people, white people. It's not even that's not what bothers me.
It's the connotation.
It's connotation of like, it's like you blacks, you whites. Yeah, like it's just almost like this.
So if I say it with like certain inflection, like, "Hey, I'm talking about the black community," you're like, it doesn't. You're received like that.
Yeah,
but when I'm like, motherfucking black people.
No, motherfucking blacks. Like that sounds weird. Like that. Like it almost makes me feel like you have something that you are holding back or gonna say next.
It is.
I'm not gonna like.
It is like if you do say whites or blacks, there is this like. You're so right. The plural of it makes it it gets a little dicey.
It gets a little weird. So like when someone says
the whites, the blacks.
When someone says that's another minority, by the way, because that's something that like because that comes from like society, that comes from a lot of white people back in the day. So like when another minority says it, that's why I'm pissed off about it. When another Asian American,
because you're using a suppressive dialogue now in your favor, but then you're in the same fucking. Like you're beating each other up.
Right. You're another minority using that against basically another minority that come from using language of the white people.
And I do
that oppresses both of you.
And I do agree with the whole meme where like you will see like the big old fat white guy with all the cookies, and then it'll be like two minority groups fighting over one cookie.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "Why are you fighting over there?" with his like 25 cookies and one cookie. Yeah. And so I do get how systematic oppression creates that racial tension, right? Because it feels like there's only one cookie left,
right?
So then now it's like I am fighting you to be able, like, so like
I'll see. It's not even the case. Like this woman is a CNBC reporter. Like she's like rich. She's like,
that's what's weird is like we are currently societally letting authors and like Ivy League professors say shit. And in 20 years will not be allowed. Dude.
That's what I'm saying. And like you're saying it from the top. That's what really is. Then it's gonna repeat it from other people.
Agreed.
Especially when she's talking about Asian people being attacked. Well, she's Asian. She's talking about Asian people being attacked by blacks. Like that is what starts divides. That is what starts separation. That's what starts shit. Because you're like literally like that tiny bit of like little bit of that extra part of like just not just saying the word African American, just that little extra word, just cause something somewhere.
Yeah, or like the black community,
and
whatever. But she hit it with blacks.
So it starts something in someone's brain, and then they're listening to this like, yeah, why is that happening? I don't like that. I don't like them blacks. I don't like them.
But in a way, isn't it nice that she used it that way for you actually know, like her intention?
No.
Like, like I get it. You're saying don't infight. You're saying, look, as a person of color or a black person and an Asian person, I get it that we're fighting this bullshit of a white hierarchy that still doesn't really get it.
Yeah.
On a fundamental level, specifically probably the cops, right? They're still a little messy.
Yeah. It's just again, like what comes to me is like, it's like I can't, like, I'm not gonna come up to my black community. Like okay, like I'm not gonna pull a Candace Owens and start talking to the black community on like how the black community should operate with like a white person voice. Like I'm not gonna go.
Does she do white voice?
No. Well, I mean, they all the reporters do white voice, no matter what color they are. Okay, like they all do it. They all copy each other. Like I'm not gonna come up to my black community and be like, you know, we like y'all need to unite. Y'all need to get together. We're not gonna go to the fucking, you know, we're not gonna go to you know where and be like, no, y'all need to get together and just, you know, fix each other. And like, I don't know why you blacks ain't getting it right. Like, I'm not gonna come up and fucking say that because I'm gonna get a shot. You know, so I'm not, because I'm coming up with like, I'm not even being original. I'm not even being myself. I'm being what like I'm being like my boss, my overlords, the people that told me to say it like that. I'm being like the white people that I'm almost against in a way. It just, I don't, not like in her case, I guess, because she's probably has like a quarrel with, like, you know, with people being racist towards her, and then she goes like, I'm not saying she's racist, but I'm just saying, like, you know, you're using racist overtones like that you don't like when other people use against you. Yeah,
well, and why does that generally happen? It's the easy way out. Yeah, it's so easy to just have it's blanket easy. Statements.
It's easy. Yeah. It's lazy. That's what I keep saying.
And that was your first statement. You're like, let's stop making it, like, doing that easy shit and not actually diving deeper into it.
Stop being fucking lazy. Just fucking, like, if you're gonna address like a whatever community, like just at minimum call their real names out.
Yo, that's so right. You're real.
So, and the person who said like I agree with the black guy, you didn't hear my first point, so I'm kind of disappointed. I saw your comment. But anyway, but don't get me wrong, I agree with him too. But you know who you are. But like, I'm like, okay, like, come on, guy, like, help me out here, help me out, brother or sister or whatever your name is. So anyway, so yeah, I mean, I hate to y'all need to call in, y'all ignore comments. What are you talking about? I'm reading your comments, bro. I experienced sued and won against AG. They didn't even want to hear my perspective. They told me to stop complaining like Megan. Like Megan? That's weird. Wait. So you won? I don't get it.
Where do you win from? Sorry. Yeah, maybe we didn't read all the comments.
But you said I experienced, sued, and won against AIG, which is one of the biggest insurance companies there are, and they didn't even want to hear my perspective. I was told to stop complaining. So you won, but they told you to stop complaining. I went to court today against a big ass company today. They sometimes you got a bitch. No, stop complaining. I mean, that's not really right. I mean, okay, no, stop complaining like Megan. That is pretty racist, because they call you, if you're black and they say stop complaining like Megan. That's pretty racist, and that's racist. And just call, you know, sue AIG again. I don't know. I mean, shit. AIG, they've been sued billions of times. They're tripping. But anyway, I think for racism, I know Meghan Markle. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, sued for racism. Dude, AIG actually been sued for racism actually a ton of times, and so a bunch of other insurance companies. Look up insurance companies that don't pay their life insurance claims because of things like sickle cell and things like diabetes in the black community. Yeah, look at that. I worked in the insurance company. It's insurance industry. It's not very pretty sometimes. Didn't play claims out because they actually didn't believe people. It's pretty crazy. So anyway,
that's the systematic stuff.
Yeah, it's systematic on company, corporation.
That does get dicey.
All that stuff. So, what's up, y'all? We're actually so anyway, this is Smart and Mild. So we've been talking for the last 2.5 hours, some change.
We're out here.
Yeah, we're out here. Come check out our shirts. I don't know if you guys seen our shirts yet.
So we're going go-kart. Cam thinks he's the best go-karter in the country.
Yep, I am.
Willing to take anybody on.
And if anyone's in Los Angeles, if you want to come get it, like, we're probably gonna do it for the next week.
Yeah. Or so. We are in conflict right now with one of our main sponsors, Hairraiser Coffee.
Yep.
Says it's conflict free.
Monster
conflict currently happening.
Yep.
The best tasting coffee that I've ever had.
Yeah.
My favorite coffee on the planet.
Yeah.
A little bougie.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Pretty expensive, yeah.
5-pound bag.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Yeah, but we,
I think our next sponsor is gonna be K1 Racing.
Yeah.
So that's where you're gonna start finding us. We're gonna have a YouTube coming out. Well, I mean, King Cam _1 on TikTok.
LJ, yeah.
Anywhere you want to find him. But he thinks he's the best racer in the world. We're gonna go start to prove that.
Yeah, pretty soon, probably this weekend.
I think this weekend.
This weekend, yeah. And we're gonna make it happen. We'll post up the video later on this week. If you're following us, like and subscribe us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, and our people from international viewers. Like, my goodness, like, feel free to download it for whatever app you guys are using. We're not sure.
We have some day ones from France.
Guys from France,
bro. Which I'm loving to see that community spread.
We got
it's
Russians,
crazy.
We got Russians. We got English. We got people in Colorado. We got people in all over the map now. Like, we're growing little by little, and I love it.
It's fun. It's really, really fun to see.
So dope.
We get way too excited about the just small little baby steps of this, but it's so much fun building it.
Yeah. Cam with a K, by the way. It is King Cam with a K.
Yeah.
Kim should be a jockey. LOL. This coffee and boom out. She is pretty hot for a jockey. That'll be pretty nice. Anyway, anyway, we love y'all. We love y'all so much. We've been talking for quite some time, and we'll be back next Wednesday, by the way, live. Likely at 6:30. At 6:30.
I'm trying to commit to 6 p.m.
Yeah. It's okay. If we make 6:30, sometimes it's okay.
It might be 6:30.
It might be 6:30. So we'll be there. We'll be live again, and we'll make it happen. We'll talk
over and out. This is Smart and Mild, episode 12, baby.
12, baby.
Hopefully we didn't cancel ourselves, or maybe hopefully we did.
I don't know. We might.
Over and out. This is Smart and Mild. Everything Hot Topics. Love y'all.
King